Welcome back, boxing fans. Welcome to tonight's live for the John Ryder Jaime Munguia fight. Glad you can all jump in. Let's watch the fight together, break it down, talk about boxing, and give our opinions and our predictions. So today, obviously, this January 27th, 28th. What is today? 28th in my time, I guess 27th yours. We're going to have another big card from DAZN. There's been some controversy around this fight, but I don't really understand where the controversy would have came from. When you talk about Jaime Munguia, generally what you talk about are fun, entertaining fights. That's it. That's who Jaime Munguia is. He's a fun, entertaining fighter. You figure he has his level. When he's fighting opponents that are at a similar level, it gives us great matchups. And today, that's what we expect. A great matchup between Jaime Munguia and John Ryder. This potentially has the build-up to be fight of the year for 2024. Obviously, it's a little early in the year, so we may forget about it by the end of the year. But I do expect a great battle between two tough warriors today. Obviously, both guys are coming to make a statement. The fight that Jaime Munguia is being discussed, potentially fighting next, following this fight, is a great fight. Mexico, Puerto Rico. Already on the build-up for this fight today, we've already had several highlights of that fight, and that is against Edgar Berlanga. Edgar Berlanga, a hard-punching Puerto Rican, fighting next weekend. I think it's next weekend. Obviously, if he comes through that fight against Paddy Donovan, then a fight between him and Jaime Munguia is one of those legendary Puerto Rican-Mexican fights. It's a fight that obviously cannot disappoint. It's going to be a fight that boxing fans are going to be entertained by. To be fair, it's a little early in their careers. There's no titles on the line, but it's still one of those fights that could catapult the winner forward in their career. And obviously another big opponent at 168 pounds is undisputed unified champion Canelo Alvarez. And if either one of those guys is fortunate enough to get a Canelo Alvarez fight, bling, 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 money ain't a thing. Those guys are going to cash out that big check and be really happy at this age to get that kind of payday. So obviously today we have a triple header coming out of DAZN. 3 good fights. This first fight, I'm not familiar with this kid. Let's check him out. Fulgrim. He's fighting Alanis Fox. We all know Alanis Fox. He's been around for quite some time. Been in with some very good opponents. He's a quality opponent. Tall, long, not the hardest puncher, but reserve. Harder coils in the house. What's up, buddy? Obviously, Alanis Fox is a tough kid. He's been in with high level of opponents. He's shown that he's competitive, but he never showed that he is that elite level of fighter. And today he's going to be fighting this up-and-comer, Fulgrim. I think that's how you pronounce his name. 100% KO ratio. I don't know if I've seen this kid fight before. Today is probably going to be my first time. But I'm excited to see who he is and what he's bringing to the fight, and obviously against the name opponent. So that should be obviously telling about what kind of skill set this kid has. Then, of course, after that, we get a very good small weight fight. Collazo, a very entertaining fighter. And then obviously the main event, which is going to be Munguia and Ryder. And that's obviously the cherry on the cake. That fight is a potential fight of the year, as I mentioned already in this fight. So let's check out BoxRec on this card. I'm just curious about who this Fulgrim guy is and what he really brings to the ring. Fulgrim. It's good to see boxing has really picked up quickly from what they did last year in 2023. 2023 was probably one of the best years in boxing history. And already in 2024, thanks to the Saudi invasion, we're getting a lot of money thrown into the sport, and that's obviously a good thing. And we've already had quite a few big cards. The PBC just released their first card, which is obviously going to be Keith Thurman versus Tim Tszyu. Not really a pay-per-view card. It would be better off if that would have just been a free card on Amazon, but I'm not the one making the decisions. Obviously, that's Al Heyman and the people for Amazon, and they decided that a Tim Tszyu, an Australian fighter, fighting a has-been in Keith Thurman, is the fight that they want to make. Who am I to tell them how to run their business? But personally, I don't think it's a fight that is really that interesting. It's not really a fight that people are that interested in. The undercard fight between Rolly Romero and obviously my man Isaac Cruz, that's a fight that's far more interesting, a fight that's going to be more entertaining. That as well could potentially be a fight of the year. Here he is, Darius Fulghum, 9-0, 9 knockouts, 27 years old, 6'1", 168-pound fighter, 73.5-inch reach, fighting Alanis Fox, a 79-inch reach, 6'4". Alanis always had that reach advantage, right? As far as Fulghum, I don't know who he's been in with, what level of competition. I definitely think this is his first big step-up fight. And obviously, it's going to tell us a lot about him as a fighter. Alanis Fox. And for him, it's a good opportunity to catapult himself back into the conversation at 168 pounds. Right now, there's a lot of money here. And as a fighter, you want to be where the money is. And obviously, for Alanis Fox, you beat this young up-and-comer. Maybe you put yourself into contention for a Munguia, a Berlanga fight moving forward. There he is. Darius Fulghum. 9-0, 9 knockouts. American out of Texas, so he should have a lot of the Texas boys behind him. When we look at who he's fought at this point, it's a who's of nobody. His last fight was against a guy, Pacino Hill, 8-4-1. Prior to that, he fought Alan Campa, 18-8. And it doesn't get any better. Obviously, jumping in with Alanis Fox, 28-5-1, is a huge step up. For Alanis Fox, what has he been doing recently? He's come off of stoppage loss, majority loss, stoppage loss in his last 3 fights, losing to David Morrell, getting stopped in 4, Eric Bazinian, who just fought this week, Canadian fighter, losing the majority decision to him, and Bek Melikuziev in his last fight, who stopped him in 4 rounds. So this pretty much tells you what he's there for. He's there as an opponent. This is supposed to be the kind of opponent this young kid can get his 10th victory and his 10th stoppage and make a statement. And we'll see if he's got it in him. Ryder Coyle says, has ever been an undercard with 3 title fights. Can't remember exactly. I thought the last female boxer, Nick, came from Hell's Kitchen. Yeah, the girl, Cruz, who lost to Gabriel Funduro. Funduro sleeps Shields. Calm down. The way Funduro looked today, you could see Clarissa Shields easily outboxing her for 10 rounds. Easily. She wasn't able to let her hands go because she's got such a wide stance. It's difficult for her to get her punches off. She wouldn't be that effective against Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shields is a way better fighter and way bigger. So, that would be easy work. Easy work at this point. I mean, maybe Funduro's going to mature. She's still a young girl. But yeah, at this point, that's fool's play, that fight. There's Fox's brother in the corner. Another pro fighter. All you can do is hope for the best for these young guys. I mean, a good performance puts them into more fights moving forward. If he gets blown out by this kid, who's really an unknown prospect. I don't know who this Fulghum kid is. Have any of you guys seen this kid fight before? Like, literally, I've never seen him fight, so I have no idea what he brings. But he's from Texas, so we know potentially he's going to be the LDBC's next favorite fighter. And we know that knockout boxing is already starting to hype this kid up. I haven't seen the video, but I can only imagine. He looks like a mix.
Okay, fellas, no rules in the dressing room. Hopefully the drinks are good. I'm gonna let you both work in here. Have a good fight. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands. Touch them up. Mom with the bell.
DFG said he couldn't really compare with a sparring partner for boxing. He couldn't find anybody tall enough, so he did the best he could.
Couldn't find anyone tall enough. We'll see how that plays out in this fight. So here we go. The start of Darius Fulgrim's career as a potential superstar. Obviously, being on a big card like this, he's going to get a lot of eyes on him, a lot of attention, and this is his time to make a statement. See if he can do what Morrell and Bekmalikeziev did against Alanis Fox, who traditionally wasn't a 168-pound fighter. Obviously, Fox is coming out aggressive, throwing that long jab. He's got like about a 6-inch reach advantage over Fulgrim, so he's trying to show his dominance. And we'll see how that pans out. Fulgrim keeps his hands down. Fulgrim definitely looks like the stronger physical fighter in there. But let's see if his power is a real thing or if it's just against shitty opponents, which when you look at his resume, pretty much looks like what it is. I hate this fucking ref. He's garbage. A lot of holding on the inside by both guys. Good up jab by Fulgrim, which is a good punch against taller fighters. Miguel Cotto was fantastic using an up jab. And I think really it's probably the most destructive punch as well. Already Fox's face is red, even though I haven't seen him get hit by too many punches. Fox just looks like at this point, he's a fighter that fades. He got a bit of that Deontay Wilder leg thing going on. Already Fulgrim is starting to, nice right hand by Fox, but starting to time his jab and counter it with his right hand. You can see Fulgrim is really inexperienced because he keeps getting caught inside when he doesn't have range to throw big shots. Kid needs experience, but that's what he's getting against a guy like Fox. Experienced. I think Fox's nose is bleeding already, or is that a cut over his eye? So there we go. Round one. Is it round one? I think Fox came out early and was good, aggressive early on, but now he's struggling to keep this kid off of him. Hardcore says, I think Shields thinks she can beat better BF. Probably. Sean Anthony's in the house. What's up, my man? That fundraiser fight looked suspect. That Funduro fight looked suspect. No, it was just a stoppage. But to be fair, the woman turned her back on her. That's not the first time a ref stopped a fight when a fighter turned their back on someone, right? You know, that's no worse than Kovalev's fight being stopped when he was like sitting on the ropes to get away from body shots by Ward. It's obviously at the ref's discretion. And at that point, Fundura was starting to win that fight clearly and land big shots. And that just looked like the woman was not interested. So, Cruz has to sort of hold herself accountable. Shields gives Beterbiev good work. Man, you crazy dude. Fucking Beterbiev's jab. He just needs to use his jab. Just his jab. And Shields wouldn't last 3 fucking rounds. Wouldn't last 3 rounds. His jab is harder than any single punch that bitch has ever fucking felt in her career. That's just a fucking fact. And I don't like Shields because she's a complete fucking bitch, but real recognize real. She's a skilled fighter, very good. And I can understand her wanting to spar men to sort of refine her skill set to make sure that, she can go rounds with dudes. Then against women, she's going to have no competition. It's kind of like basketball, right? I played basketball, and a lot of the women ball players played against men, right, in pickup games. And this was just to help them improve for when they played against other women who weren't going to be as physical, couldn't jump as high, weren't as fast. And now you just kind of get your timing down against better players. And it's the same with Shields. Female tennis players do it all the time as well. But to talk the shit that she talks, that's the problem. To act like fucking she would beat Keith Thurman, that back in the day she'd beat Golovkin. Come on. Fuck, man, get real. So round 2, Fulgrim continues to give up his range. And his punches don't really look that hard. They look pretty slow. Like, technically, he's not as refined as Fundura, the girl that we just watched. She's a much more refined fighter than he is. He's winging fucking wild shots, holding, doesn't double up his jab. At this point, that was a nice uppercut he landed against Fox on the inside. I just don't know what he would do against guys like Berlanga, Munguia. Him against Eric Bazinian, the French-Canadian, European, Russian fighter. That might be a good matchup for him. Bazinian, similar. He had great knockout record until he stepped up his level of opposition. And now he's not nearly the killer that he once was. So those two guys probably are made for one another. But this fight just looks like it's a matter of time. And I won't say that I'm super impressed with Darius Fulgrim from Texas. Round 2 is over. So, what's your prediction on Munguia Ryder, guys? What do you think is going to happen with that fight? Who do you have to win? And how do you think it's going to go? What's all that shit all over Darius Fox's body? Gunshots? Stab wounds? Serious fucking acne? Oh, that was a low blow. Great uppercut. If you would have caught him, good, caught him there. Not on the chin. But for this kid, definitely, this is good work, but I won't say that he's exciting. Sean Anthony says, Munguia, late stoppage. Yeah, that's my prediction. What did I predict in my prediction league? Prediction league predictions. Munguia. Where are you, Munguia? Munguia by 9th round TKO. That's my prediction officially on my official thing. I had Fundura winning by UD, so it almost went that decision. And I have this fight, Fulgrim, by 7th round TKO. And the way things are going, I could definitely see it go that way. Ruiz, who lost the fight against Picasso, I had him winning, but Picasso showed that he's pretty skilled, man. That dude paints like an artist. And Trinidad, I don't know if that Trinidad is related to Felix Trinidad. I think it must be, but I had him winning by third round TKO, even though I'm not sure what happened with that fight and what the results are. And Collazo, I have by fourth round stoppage as well. So that's my DAZN predictions for this card. At this point, we haven't got all the results in. Even from the earlier fights, it doesn't really list them. Right now, it only lists this on BoxRec. So don't know what happened to any of those earlier fights. But we're in round 3, and it's more the same. Fox bending down too much, getting too low again. I don't know if that's because Fulgram's body shots are good. To be fair, I haven't even seen Fulgram land a body shot yet. He's not really utilizing his jab like he should. He's a real tall guy, but he's giving up his height constantly. I think Alanis Fox would be better if he just was consistent behind a 1-1-2, 1-1-1-2, 1-2. You know, just throwing a 1-2 from the outside, using his distance, changing his range up and down, and just doing that. And then on the inside, just tying dudes up like an octopus. Another terrible stoppage in the last fight. I don't know if it's a terrible stoppage. I blame Christina Cruz for turning her back on the fight. I don't understand why she did it. It was a fucking pointless thing, and she can't be surprised that the ref stopped the fight, because often that's what happens when you turn your back on another fighter, right? And for her to complain, like, why are you turning your back on people? Like, you can't do that. Not on the amateurs either. B-Hop looks pimped out today. Oscar's woman, fuck, man. You could hit her face with a fucking hammer and that shit would just fall off. She looked like she's got such thick makeup on that she's probably this thick covering her face. You take that off of her and she's probably scary. You ever see those makeup demos where they get these girls that are fucking... I'm not being mean, but they get these girls that are fucking downright ugly as fuck. Like, uglier than normal. The kind of girls that if you saw on the street, you'd be like, ah, goddamn. Right? You don't see that kind of ugly every day. But they get those kind of girls fucking ugly, man. And then by the time they put that makeup on, that foundation, build them up, the girls look fucking unbelievable. If you ran into one of those girls at the club and their body was good and they look like with that makeup, you'd be hitting on that shit right off the bat, only to go home, peel that shit off like the mask it is, and realize that it was fucking Halloween and you're in bed with a monster. Monster. That shit's crazy. But here we go, round 4. At this point, I can't say I'm very impressed with Darius Fulgram. His power doesn't look transcendental, right? He doesn't look like one of those John the Beast Mugabe type of dudes. He doesn't look like a guy that's going to like crack and knock dudes out. We've seen Alanis Fox in with Morale and Bekmambetov. He did not go past 4 rounds with either one of those fighters. But against this guy, I feel he's easily going to get through this round. I could be wrong. We have to see how it unfolds. We still have 2 minutes to go. But maybe you could throw this guy in with Bekmambetov. Beck the Bully versus Darius Fulgram. Do you remember any undercards with 3 title fights? There's been lots of fight cards with 3 title fights. I mean, Don King used to have that shit all the time. It was regular, normal. So It's not that unusual. In recent times, if I just try to think off the top of my head, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but mind you, I don't normally have the best short-term memory. So, not that I have bad short-term memory, but to remember specific dates and things like that and names, that's not my forte. As you can tell by the way I pronounce people's names. 43 seconds ago, can Darius Fulgrim do what the great Morel and Melikuziev did before him? Get Alanis Fox out? Or is it going to go the distance like my Canadian brethren, Eric Bazinian? One thing you can say about Fox, he's game, right? That's why he keeps getting these opportunities. He doesn't come in there to sit down or just survive, but he definitely doesn't utilize his tools. Why are you in on the inside against this kid? Round 4 is over. So, is it the co-main yet? No, Mars, not yet. This is the third fight of the card, the prospect. And then the co-main, Calazo, is going to be next. Do you remember any undercard with 3 title fights? It's very normal to have 2, and now that they've been having women boxing on cards, I don't think having 3 is that unusual. But 3 title fights people care about, that may be a different situation. So here we go, round 4. I think this kid stands up too straight. He doesn't really have great hand speed. And I don't know if his power is really that good. What do you guys think of Darius Fulgrim? Are you impressed? Who would you like to see this kid in with next? If he's able to get past Alanis Fox. How old is this kid? "27. So he's no spring fucking chicken. 27 years of age, and this is his 10th professional fight. You compare him to, say, a guy that I just had as my prospect of the week in Bruce Carrington. Bruce Carrington is 26 years of age. He just had his 10th fight. Bruce Carrington looks way better than this kid. Sharper, faster, and was landing great shots. What's going on in the crowd? A wave. I love when boxing's on DAZN. It makes it easy for me to watch. This is the best thing about DAZN. You can actually watch it in Asia. You can watch it around the world. Alanis Fox is game. I'll give him that. And definitely deserves his payday. Oh, Oh, that was a nice right hand Atlantis Fox landed. Duck in over, landed a nice one. He's never been the biggest power puncher, and that's probably his biggest detriment at these bigger weight classes. Does he have the power to keep dudes off of him? Oscar and the Bob Father are the best promoters in boxing. Him versus Berlanga. Well, for Berlanga, this would definitely be a step back, but for him, it would be a good step up, right? If he was to get the chance to fight Berlanga, beat him, it puts him right into big money fights. But as I mentioned earlier in the fight, and you probably noticed it in the telecast already, probably the next likely fight is between Berlanga and Jaime Munguia, right? And the winner of that probably is going to get a Canelo Alvarez fight on DAZN, because DAZN has wanted to obviously bring Canelo back to DAZN, but they didn't have the appropriate opponents for him to fight. But if we get a Munguia Berlanga, the winner of that definitely deserves a fight. Hopefully, we get Canelo Alvarez versus Benavidez. If he gets past Benavidez, then even if he doesn't get past Benavidez, him against the winner of that fight is still a big fight, whether there's no titles in the line or not. We're getting into round 6. As I predicted, I figured Darius Fulgrim would get him out in 7. The way it's going, that could happen. That could happen. Atlantis Fox is game, but Darius Fulgrim is limited. So round 6. That's it. Keep throwing that jab out and follow with right hands. This kid should be fighting like Tommy Hearns. Oscar and Bob Father are the best. The good thing about Oscar, Bob Father, and Hearn is they all seem to be working with each other right now, right? Which is good for boxing. The fact that all these promoters are able to work together. Like tonight's fight, obviously, is Eddie Hearn and Oscar De La Hoya working together. One representing Ryder, the other one representing Munguia. So that's good news. And I've heard, of course, that Bob and Oscar and even Bob and Eddie are working together. So that's obviously a good thing as well. You hear about Canelo having a 4th fight option with the PBC. I haven't heard it, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like, why wouldn't you have an option, right? Generally, in a contract, there's always an option. I mean, obviously, it's not guaranteed, but the option is there. If Canelo Alvarez fights Benavidez and it's a fight of the year, and say Benavidez ends up winning, or it's a draw or something controversial, then it only goes without saying that there would obviously be a 4th fight, a rematch to follow it up. So that's probably why the option is there. And people that are acting as if the Canelo Benavidez fight isn't on the cards, then they're kind of missing the whole point. That is the main event. It's like when Andre Ward signed a 3-fight deal to fight Kovalev. The first 2 fights were throwaway fights, not pay-per-view, not fights anyone even fucking watched. Literally throwaway fights. The main fight, the main point of the contract was that 3rd fight, the Kovalev fight. And obviously this is the same scenario. They don't want Canelo to end up losing early, but then be tied to needing to pay him huge cash on fights coming off of a loss. Say Benavidez goes out there and fucking destroys him and sends him into retirement. So now you have a 2-fight deal with a guy that's not even interested in fighting anymore. But boxing fans don't see the business aspect of things. Canelo's next 3 fights will be Charlo, Munguia, and Berlanga. Well, 8 rounds. You're not paying attention to the whole scenario. First of all, Charlo and Munguia and Berlanga are not part of the PBC. So they're not going to be part of the 3-fight contract with Al Haymon and the PBC on Amazon. Definitely not. Neither of those is going to be one of the opponents. You can see that Al Haymon would prefer to make in-house fights than to work with outside promoters to make big events. You saw this in the first fight that they're releasing on the PBC card. Instead of having a Ryan Garcia Rolly Romero fight, which would be a legitimate pay-per-view, a fight you could put on Amazon and would be huge, because Ryan does have a lot of fucking leverage. And you put him in with a world title fight against Rolly Romero, who talks a load of shit, that fight would be very successful. But instead of doing that fight, Al Heyman preferred to do Tim Tszyu versus Keith Thurman, with Rolly Romero defending his title against Isaac Cruz on the undercard. Not one of those fights is as big as Rolly and Ryan Garcia. And the card overall is not as big as a Rolly Ryan Garcia fight. So we know why, because he controls both Isaac Cruz and Rolly Romero. So he'd rather pit his two fighters against one another. Even if you need Thurman to jump up from 147 to 154, even if you need Isaac Cruz to jump up from 135 to 140. And Isaac Cruz is a diminutive fighter. He's smaller than fucking Tank Davis. So him moving up to 140, he's going to fucking look like a bowling pin in there against Rolly Romero. That's not his weight class. Rolly Romero is going to be far bigger than him on fight night. But here we are at round 7. Come on, Fulgrim. Give me some extra points. Knock this motherfucker out this round. You got 2 minutes. See, Fulgrim doesn't even look like he's got a second gear, because he never moves from the pace that he fights at. Never feels rushed, which isn't a bad thing. But I mean, you got to be able to pick it up, right? Pick the shit up. Like right now, Fox is just hanging in there. He's not into win. He's just giving it his honest effort, which is good. And obviously what we want fighters to do. But he should be able to, oh, nice fucking crazy right hand. Oh, his knees buckle. Yes, he looks like he's out. Now put your foot down on the gas. Come on, throw some punches together. You know, this ref is more than willing to jump in and stop this fight. Smothering his punches again. Yeah, and now you let him off the fucking hook, walking you to the ropes. Now you got him on the ropes. Open up on him. Come on. Even Oscar's telling you. Look, the ref is willing to jump in. You got 37 seconds. Why are you letting me down, brother? Throw it all. Boom, 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 boom. Let your hands go. You don't have to throw big shots. You just need to throw shots. Oh, man, this kid fucking killed me. Good prediction, but I'm not going to get it because this dude's dropping the ball. But props to fucking Atlantis Fox. Lots of heart. Lots of heart. My prediction is done. Thank you very much, Darius Fulgrim. You suck. He had him, man. The dude's buckled against the ropes. Right there, you had him. All you had to do was open up on him. Oh, well. What can you do? But 8 rounds to 4, Haney. The way they're talking about, if you've been watching this event today, it's definitely the Munguia Berlanga fight. That's the fight they've been talking about as a next potential matchup. And that fight makes tons of sense. Tons of sense. Nobody loves a Mexican versus Puerto Rican fight more than boxing fans, right? That tradition goes back to the 70s. I don't know if it goes prior to the 70s. But obviously when Salvador Sanchez beat, what's his face? The big KO guy. Why I can't remember his name, but, you know, that fight was monumental. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be an 8th round stoppage. 1 round off. Thank you very much. At least Darius Fulgham is passing the test. I don't know if he's passing the test impressively, but he's passing the test. I definitely think the ref's going to jump in and stop the fight at any second in this round. Yeah, you should probably stop it now. He's just trying to survive. It's unfair for him to take an ass beating. Fulgham trying to line up that uppercut on the inside. It must be very disappointing for a boxer in Alanis Fox's position, who's just being used as kind of a stepping stone for up and coming fighters. And you know, every time you go in there, you're the C, D, E, F, G side. You can go out and you can fight as much as you want and do very well, but you're probably still losing on the cards because we know how biased fucking the refs are. You land good shots, but you don't get any credit for it. You go in there and you show tons of heart, but really all for the point of what? Just making it look competitive. And inevitably, the result's going to be the same. A loss for you, a win for the young up-and-comer. And then next time you get called is to be thrown in with another guy in a similar position. It's just like you're in a hole and you just can't dig your way out. The more you dig, the deeper you get. It must be frustrating. Like getting into training, you're trying to like get in there and take advantage of one of these opportunities, upset one of these guys, and put yourself into bigger fights, right? But then motivationally, also probably the training and the funding, the support you're getting from promoters is not what it once was. So, you know, you're not getting necessarily the best opportunity to be at your best. You're probably fighting at weight classes that aren't your best as well. Disheartening. But you're trying to get a payday, so you fucking agree with a smile on your face. Like I already said, his last 3 fights, he's had 3 losses, 2 stoppages, and 1 majority decision, which obviously was competitive, and based on the decision, probably should have been a win for him. At least it went 8 rounds. That's good. That means my prediction was not that off. But Fox, let's check him out. How much money is he making and how active has he been? Obviously, 2023, okay, he fought twice, 1 majority loss to Bazinian, 1 stoppage loss to Bekmambetov in 4. 2022, he did not fight, coming off of that Morel stoppage, which obviously put a big dent in him because prior to that, he was coming off of back-to-back wins. 2 fights in 2020, 1 no contest, 1 victory. 2021 beat Manny Woods by a 7th round stoppage and then got thrown in to fight David Morrell, who was 5-0. Morrell fucking blitzed him. And then obviously he took 2022 off. Since then, David Morrell has moved to 10-0 and is probably the best fighter at 168 pounds. Round 9. That's a good little combination from Fox. But what do you guys think about David Morrell? Where do you rank him at 168 pounds? I was just looking at ProBox, and I don't know if you guys follow ProBox, but if you don't, you should definitely check it out. The app, the interviews, the stuff that they do with Paulie Malignaggi, Chris Algieri, even Teddy Atlas comes on once in a while. Tim Bradley comes on. Sean Porter comes on. So they get big names to discuss topics and break down fights and give predictions and whatnot. And they were talking about the 3 best fighters at 168 pounds. Obviously, Teddy Atlas had David Benavidez at number 1. Paulie and Chris Algieri, not being fucking complete fucking haters, obviously had Canelo number one, David Benavidez number two, and everybody basically had Morrell at number three. I mean, right now, obviously Morrell with only 10 fights on his resume, he hasn't been in with the kind of competition to really prove that he's the top of the top. But I think, as 8 rounds says, Morrell washes everybody at 68. I agree. I think Morrell is better than every single fighter in that division, which is one reason why none of those fucking dudes want to fight him. Which is why the PBC should really try to make that Caleb Plant Morrell fight, because that would be the fight that Morrell needs, right? If he goes in there and fucking washes Caleb Plant, an ex-world champion, a guy that went 12 rounds with David Benavidez, obviously gave Canelo some good work until he got stopped. That would be a huge statement. At that point, you could not dismiss Morrell. You'd have to say, dudes, Benavidez, Canelo, Berlanga, Munguia, you dudes need to fight him because he is the baddest man on the block. His speed, his power, his technique, I think the combination he has is a far better package than anybody else. And I'm super excited to see him step up his level of competition. And you just look at the comparison between this guy, Fulgrim. Obviously, he's had a few fights more than Morrell had, but Morrell obviously had a lot more amateur pedigree. But Morrell destroyed fucking Fox. Destroyed him, right? Whereas this kid, he's hitting Fox a lot, but he can't get rid of him. You know, Fox is still there. The problem with Morrell is none of the big name guys want to get in with him, so he's all fighting that second tier level of fighters. But yeah, I agree, 8 rounds. I definitely think that Morrell is by and far the best fighter in the division. Jaime, for some reason, by the black YouTubers, he's one of the most hated fighters in boxing. I don't know why. Like, nobody's hyping Munguia up. Nobody says he's pound for pound. Nobody goes out and says he's the best fighter at 168 pounds, like we just said Morrell is. Nobody said he was the best champion at 154. Nobody said he was the best at 160. But what he is super entertaining. Entertaining, man. That dude does not fail to deliver. Every time he's up, he delivers. Full force. Even if he loses, you know it's going to be a great fight to watch. And that's what we're going to get today. John Ryder versus him in what inevitably is going to be an outstanding fight. Morrell versus Rosado would be a good scrap. Mars, why are you so mean, man? That fight should not happen ever. I could see that it potentially could happen, but let's be fair. Gabriel Rosado does not deserve that kind of fucking work. If you want to put Morrell in with somebody, put him in with Bek Malikuziev then, a guy that beat Rosado the second time around. But putting Rosado in there, fuck, man, why are you so mean? Rosado's got his ass beat enough. He doesn't deserve to be fucking blitzed and fucking killed in a fight like that. Because I definitely think Morrell fucking destroys him. I don't think that fight goes fucking 5 rounds. And I definitely see it ending in brutal fucking stoppage loss. But this fight is almost over. Obviously, we all know who won. Darius Fulgrim went the distance. So in Fox's last 4 fights, stopped by Morrell in 4, lost a majority decision to my Canadian fighter, got knocked out in 4 by Bek Malikuziev, and now went the distance with this kid. I'm going to drop the kids off at the pool. I'll be back in 2 minutes, and we will wait for the co-main event. I'm back. So 9-0. Sorry, 10-0 with 9 KOs. No surprise, the fight went the way we expected. The only problem is he no longer has 100% KO ratio. But what did we say when I was gone? Haney would wash prime Terry Norris and prime Julian Jackson. Dude, why you always make these casual fucking statements just to be casual? Because Terry Norris and Julian Jackson were much bigger fighters than him. Julian Jackson, I guarantee, would knock Devin Haney clean the fuck out. And probably so would Terry Norris. Haney, let me guess, you think Haney beats Duran too? Yeah. Mars, Haney beats Leonard Duran Hearns at 147. Dude, man, why make stupid statements? Like, you can talk about who you favor in those divisions and why. But Haney doesn't beat any one of those three fighters. Duran, his pressure, his ability, way too much for him. He's not fucking Regis Prograis. And if Haney had that much problems with Lomachenko, a guy that doesn't put the kind of pressure that Duran puts on and doesn't hit as hard as Duran, what would happen to him if he fought Duran? He would have fucking got beat up and bloodied and broken. Leonard was just a bigger fighter than him, faster, better footwork, more power, right? A more versatile fighter who could adjust and change in the rings consistently from one fight to another and even within a fight. Hearns jab and right hand, he would knock fucking Haney to clean the fuck out. Clean the fuck out. Like, Haney would duck that dude as much, if not more, than he's going to duck Boots Ennis, right? Who has some similarities. Mars, Haney beat, yeah, there we go. Salute, Mr. Newton. What's up, Hawker Mustang? Welcome to the new channel. Remember, people, like, subscribe, and share. Help a brother out. I'm trying to get back to that 1,000 subscriber mark. And I'm surprised that I haven't even hit 100 subscribers yet. So I think you guys just haven't shared my videos enough on YouTube to give my subscribers a chance to reconnect. Because if you think about it, when you have 7,000 subscribers, it shouldn't be that hard to jump back up to 7,000. Like, that's a seventh of the people who subscribed to you the first time around. So for them to jump back on your channel and give you a thumbs up in a subscription should be easy. Easy. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to be here another 10 years before I get to fucking 6,000 subscribers again. Thank you very much, John Boxing. It truly tells me what kind of individual you are. Haney, are you high tonight? Machado coming out with a very insightful fucking comment. I told some folks to sub to your new channel. Bucho also has been telling people to sub. Bucho, you're a good man, Chopin. GMAC, I am on my Johnny boy. Well, if you're on your Johnny boy, you probably wouldn't be supporting Devin Haney, right? Because I know Johnny boy don't support Devin Haney.
And show people who I am, and how I bounce back. It's not easy to lose, but great champions come back.
Toxic is a powerful word you use there. Why was it a toxic environment for you?
It was toxic because LA, people want to be around famous people. There's a lot of distractions. Even the gym I was at, it's kind of a celebrity gym in a way, and things weren't locked in like a training camp. And in hindsight, looking back, it was like, wow, like being here and just being in just that full focus mode is a huge difference. My dedication just wasn't there. It wasn't there, and when you take those long layoffs, you don't realize it because you think you're just going with the emotions. Like, okay, I'll get ready for a fight, but it's not just a fight. It's It's everything. You need to put everything into boxing.
Problem with Ryan Garcia saying this kind of shit, it just sounds like an excuse. He's a kid. He should be more focused on his career, right? He shouldn't be buying into the whole celebrity shit. I know he's living his life. He's living his best life. So props to him. When you have everything he has, it would be hard not to enjoy it. But the boxing career is short, man. You better fucking be motivated now. You better have your nose to the grindstone now, and then do like B-Hop. B-Hop's still not that old, living large, life is good. He got it easy, right? And he's not getting punched in the face right now, even though he wants to punch Haney's dad in the face. But that's the thing. You know, these guys, I understand, immaturity, right, is probably the biggest problem. These kids are just too immature. Are your old videos still up? Nope, done. Everything on that channel has been deleted by YouTube. The snitch has little man syndrome. Yes, he does. Here's coming up on DAZN. I can't wait to see that Kuriel Non-Stinga 2 fight, right? And then, of course, Berlanga McCrory is February 24th. And as they're telling us during all these promotions, right, that's the fight they're really trying to push, that Munguia fight. Eddie Hearn.
Eddie, a bit of insight. You've been backstage with John Ryder. How's he feeling?
I said to Larry, super cute, really. It's a bit of a come down from Guadalajara and 70,000 people against Canelo. I think those experiences would put you in a great place. I think feeling good. Great arena, great crowd, great fight. The fights are going on a little bit long. The hands have been wrapped for a while now. It's going to start warming up properly. And they're ready to go. You know, I've got to make me count there tonight. And that'll be the job of Tony Sims, the team, and maybe even myself, just to, you know, really getting riled up for this fight. So this is your last chance, really, at the big time. We've got to win tonight.
Yeah, me and Barry were talking midweek.
Ade Oladipo, right? Making it big. A YouTuber. Look at him. Going the right way. My channel went the wrong way. Oli went the right way. Now on DAZN. But he needs to match better. Those slacks and that jacket, that does not look very professional. And the shirt, you know, I understand not wearing a tie, but if you're going to wear a collared shirt, I don't see it. I think you should just wear like a fucking plain tee under the jacket. Much cleaner, much fresher.
Great showing against Canelo Alvarez. We believe he's going to do it tonight, but he's got to go in there and take it by the scruff of the
He
neck.
better fucking do it.
This was a big win at Alexander Palace, and we really had to wait until this for the big opportunity. He then had to go in and fight Jack Parker to get the Canelo fight, but beating Daniel Jacobs and then Parker and John Ryder's a world-class fighter. You see, what happened in this fight against Canelo Alvarez, obviously he's fighting a pound-for-pound great, and I believe Munguia's level below him. It took him a while to get his confidence in the fight. He's got to start fast tonight. He's got to start like he finished against Canelo Alvarez. He can outbox Munguia, but he's also got to work with him, because Munguia's got a fantastic work rate.
For me, he has to take the centre of the ring. It's going to be very difficult against someone like Munguia. But if he takes the centre of the ring, he's the one moving forward, then he has the position of his foot on the outside. That gives him really good advantage, and to get that leg down right down the middle. And just try and make Munguia more defensive, he can kick before he throws.
Yeah, that's the main event. That's coming up in about, I'd say, about 45 minutes' time. Conor Benn is back in it.
I think him, the limey commentator, is probably one of the best on boxing, right? As far as a color commentator. I mean, I know DAZN gets a lot of shtick for their thing, and I understand the live commentator from what's his face, who's biased as fuck, and then of course the ex-world champion who, you know, tends to just go off on tangents of ridiculous bullshit. But those guys are good, and he's very good, very experienced, very moderate. I don't know about this fight. Who cares? Ben versus Dobson. Who the fuck is Dobson?
A fight challenges every day. All fighters will fight something. That's the easiest fight, is in there against a physical man, you know. So yeah, I just feel like this is what I'm made to do. I'm created to do this. I'm born to do this. I'm born to fight.
Great to hear from Conor Benn. Obviously, a good fight for him. Next Saturday, live on DAZN, he takes on the undefeated welterweight Peter Dobson. Provided he gets past that one unscathed, what are the plans for Conor Benn in 2024?
I mean, I've got to say, you know, these guys have been out in Los Angeles at the Matchroom Gym, Conor Benn looks absolutely phenomenal, ferocious. And it's going to be a great build-up as well. Dobson, who's well scored, 16-0, unbeaten as well. Big chance for him. They've been talking a lot between them. Conor Benn is going to go out and I think put the division on notice next Saturday, and he should do against Dobson. You know, if he's talking about these big guys at 147 pounds, he needs to go and do a job on Pete Dobson, headlining in Las Vegas at huge time.
Poor Chris Algieri.
2:30 local time.
Chris Algieri getting flatlined.
For any fighter to headline in Vegas is spectacular, but this is the big run we need now. The activity. He wants everybody at 147. So we've got to get active, and next week will show us exactly where he's at. The mega fight must come after Dobson.
Yeah, we do want a big fight, but whether
Can we get Ben versus Bud Crawford, right? Maybe that's the kind of fight that actually Bud Crawford getting into. Even though I heard talk of that the Spence Crawford fight is off, but it looks like that fight's still not really off. Spence is back into training, coming off of his eye surgery. So I think the date's just been pushed back. I definitely think the next fight for Crawford is going to be a Spence rematch, which is disappointing. Only in that Crawford's sitting around waiting for Spence again, right? So, you know, and when he beats Spence this time, if he doesn't get a Canelo fight, I expect that he's probably just going to retire, which is disappointing as well, because the way he looked against Spence, it'd be disappointing not to get him in the ring against other fighters.
He's done within 3 weeks. You've got Usyk against Fury and Joshua against Ngannou. It's madness, and the cards are out of control as well. I lean towards Tyson Fury purely because of the size. It's how much you want to take from that Ngannou fight. You know, he did look slow. His feet look like slowed down. Is his punch resistance the same? You know, he got dropped with a shot on the top of the head, but Ngannou's a big guy. My worry for Alexander Usyk is his lack of power. You know, we know he's very smart. We know he's going to move in and out. We know he can, you know, be deceitful in there, deceptive, but so good Tyson Fury. And I think it's going to be an interesting tactical match. I just think the size of Tyson Fury, you know, the way he can lean on him with his body weight, he's going to get improved. But listen, we said that about Anthony Joshua. I appreciate their different styles, but we just presumed that the size of AJ would be too much. And Dubois. I mean, these are two strong boys that he's overcome. And Fury's not the biggest puncher, but I just think, you know, it could be a little bit of a performance similar to the Klitschko performance, where he just, you know, uses his size and his ability.
I don't know if that Fury is around anymore, the one that beat Klitschko. And obviously Klitschko is not the mobile fighter and the small fighter that Usyk is. He's a big fighter who was used to using his size advantage, leaning on other opponents and fighting off of a 1-2, which he couldn't do against Fury. Usyk's not going to fight like that. Usyk's going to be fucking moving, circling, forcing Tyson Fury to chase him, right? Forcing Fury to turn and consistently need to be moving, right, to see if he could maintain that pace throughout 12 rounds, which obviously Usyk has historically been able to do. But if he's able to establish his jab, I don't think he's going to be able to use his size, because I don't think Usyk is going to come inside and allow him to like tie him up and sort of octopus arm him, but I could be wrong.
Got to be aggressive against Ngannou, which is dangerous in itself, but smart aggressive. You've got to push him back. You've got to back him. I think when Ngannou's going backwards, he won't really know what to do. If you allow him to close the space and stand and trade with you, he's going to be a real danger.
But I think Joshua's in and out movement with his feet will confuse. But people think that he's going to be in front of Ngannou, and that's going to be an attack that Ngannou hits. But his hands are high, his elbows tucked inside. He won't see if he's attacking Ngannou. If Joshua doing that movement and then punching through the target like he did in his last fight, I think it gives him a really good chance.
All right, guys, we've got to stop you both. So, Eddie, thank you for coming. We appreciate it. Let's get on with the action here in Phoenix, Arizona. We have WBO minimum weight title action. Coming up next is Gallardo versus Munguia.
I think Ade Oladipo is doing a good job. I like to see him there. It's good. Makes me feel happy. And he's a Liverpool fan. Fucking Klopp, man. So where are we? I bet John is lurking right now. I'm sure he is, because that's the kind of guy he is. DAZN should invest in Lampley and Kellerman. That wouldn't be bad, right? Lampley, I heard, is teaching at a university right now. I mean, obviously, he doesn't need to be doing anything, because financially, I'm sure he's more than successful. Same as Kellerman. But, you know, those guys obviously are in a position where they're looking for a good opportunity. Boxing is stupid and fun at the same time. That's true. I wonder how many years was John trying to flag your channel down, Sean? I don't know if it was that he had been trying prior to that. I think it's probably people in his ear. And then once I exposed his narrative with the whole Inui situation, which just broke him, because he tries to act as if I'm being a hypocrite by saying, I support Bud Crawford. But back when Crawford was at 140 and channels like John said that he should be number one pound for pound based on beating what's his face in Dongu, that I pushed against it. I still stick to that, because him beating Ndongu to become undisputed back at 140 pounds is different than him beating Errol Spence to become undisputed at 147. 5 years have transpired in that time. Things have changed, but he wants to hold me accountable to a statement 5 years ago today, which is ridiculous. But what John said was just several months ago, prior to Inui beating Fulton, when he said that if he beats Fulton, he would be pound for pound number one on his list. And now he's got it at number 6. And he did that. He beat Fulton. And then he beat Tapalis to become a 2-weight undisputed champion like Crawford. Yet he doesn't want to give Inui the same credit he gives Crawford. He'd rather give Devin Haney credit, a guy who hasn't done nearly what fucking Inui has done, right? Like, you can't talk to people like him, because John thinks he's fucking, the savior to boxing, that he's somehow the only person fighting this battle of racism against Black American fighters who are being mistreated in the industry. But yet he doesn't notice fucking the hypocrisy that he pushes every day. He just put up a video about Butterbean getting knocked out. Why did he put that up? He's not old enough to even have watched Butterbean. He puts that up because a white guy got knocked out. So literally what he's trying to show is white boxers are garbage, overrated, not as good as blacks. Blacks are better, whites are worse. So he puts that video up just to say that. He doesn't say it, but that's the whole point of it. Because how relevant is Butterbean? Who gives a fuck about Butterbean? Most of the people that watch boxing today and I'm subscribed to John have never even seen Butterbean fight, right? And Butterbean was never seen as a legitimate fucking fighter. So acting as if he represents all fucking white boxers is ridiculous. But that's the kind of stuff John pushes. And he thinks he's doing fucking God's work. He's demented, delusional. And closing down my channel, he thinks, he's winning the battle, stopping racism on YouTube. Yet he's contributed to racism on YouTube. But what can you do? Imagine if Ngannou knocked out AJ and really exposes it as a mockery. That would be ridiculous. Then he should fight Usyk for sure. Sean, invite John for another debate. John could always debate. He knew I'd always let him fucking debate. And his personality when he's on debate compared to when he's on his channel, completely different. Dude's two-faced as fuck. Me, I'm the same, consistent. I'm no different on a channel, on my channel, on your channel. This is me. Like it or don't like it, that has nothing to do with me. 8 rounds to 4. Loma, you said Boots was too big for Haney, but you think Haney beats Norris, Jackson, Hearn, Duran, Leonard. That's true. Butterbean had a better resume than Wilder. That may be true. John wishes he was white. John is ready to put Tank number 3 pound for pound if he beats the winner of Rolly Cruz at 140. Sure he is. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Right? Gonna fight your leftovers to become a 3-weight world champion, even though the 135-pound champion you have is fucking email champion. Oscar Colazo. This kid's a good-looking Puerto Rican kid. I mean, boxer, not looks-wise. No homo. Remember people used to say that in their videos consistently on YouTube? That was the normal fucking thing. Whenever you would like say something positive about a fighter, you'd use a no homo at the end of it. It's like, dude, man, I'm glad that shit's gone. that was all those LDBC channels that consistently said that. Those dudes are so fucking homophobic. It's ridiculous. No homo. Who's this guy he's fighting? He looks like he's from Taco Bell. Oh, sorry, that's Bulls. Wilson, Tellez, Lisa Giampa. Here we go. Oscar Collazo. 8-0, 6 KO. Up and coming American Puerto Rican, 5'2", 61-inch reach. I mean, you know, the YouTube channels aren't watching him because he's fighting at a fucking small weight. Nobody watches minimum weight fighters. Yet, we want to see him fight that dude from fucking Japan, right? That's who we hope Collazo fights. The other guy who is currently also 6-0 or 8-0 with 6 KOs, the brother Shingioka, however you pronounce his name. That shit would be fucking great. 2 undefeated fighters, both with similar records, both world champions for unification at minimum weight. Obviously, Collazo is getting play in the U.S., right, where obviously Puerto Ricans have a big market. So who was the other great small Puerto Rican fighter? No power, but was very good until he wasn't, until he lost 2 fights back to back. Who's this guy's facing? Reyneses Gutierrez, 10-1. Obviously, only 1 loss to his resume, 2 knockouts, not much power. Nicaraguan, his last coming 2 fights ago to a guy who was 2-0 in Alex Winwood. When you look at his resume, he's faced nothing but scrubs. Collazo, for his part, he beat Melvin Jerusalem, Vic Saludo. He faced legitimate opponents already. I think both of those guys were world champions at one point. So let's see. I remember when Bivol beat Canelo, John was saying Andrade and Charlo stops Canelo. Of course he was. Until Andrade was exposed and fucking Charlo got beat. And now they don't want him doing it. John the Dream Haney on Homo. I'm looking forward to Loma Zepeda. Well, that fight's a while away. But we're off. Here we go. Round 1, Collazo, Gutierrez. I do expect this fight probably to not last past 8 rounds. Gutierrez has never been in with a skilled fighter like Collazo. So this is really an opportunity. I think Golden Boy is just trying to showcase the small fighter in front of an American audience. At one time, Golden Boy actually had what's-his-face on their resume. The guy who passed Floyd Mayweather's unbeaten record, the Thai fighter. But obviously he ended up losing and then retiring, coming back and having a couple fights and then retiring again. Collazo. I'd love to see that fight with him and the Japanese kid. Here we go. This guy, Yudi Shigeoko, 8-0 with 5 KOs. World champion and Ring Magazine's #1 WBC champion. The opponents he's been in with, better than who he's been in with so far. But that would be a great fight. John says blacks don't dominate the smaller weights because they don't get that small. He must have never seen Mark Two Shop Johnson or Tim Austin. Exactly. Exactly. There's lots of diminutive small black guys out there. And if you're a small diminutive black guy, you probably box or do MMA or something similar. The problem is a lot of dudes at that size probably are in the joint, right? And probably have been in the system for a long time, stopping them from being really relevant. Clazo already starting to time him, figuring him out. Nice counter left hand from Gutierrez. I'm trying to think who is that Puerto Rican fighter I talked about. There he is. You guys remember? Ivan Calderon, 35-3-1. No power at all, right? Only 6 KOs. But Calderon was a great little Puerto Rican fighter back in the day. And then obviously he stepped up and faced Giovanni Segura and was defending his titles against Giovanni Segura, and Giovanni Segura knocked him out twice. And then, of course, when other fighters beat Giovanni Segura, people downplayed Segura and acted like he was a nobody. When Brian Valora beat him, when Juan Francisco Estrada beat him, after Valora beat him, Roman Gonzalez beat Valoria, and obviously after Juan Francisco Estrada, well, you know, it is what it is. But he had a good career. Solid wins, solid champion. Round 2. Now the question is, does Collazo have more power than Ivan Calderon? He's much more flat-footed stylistically than Calderon was. Calderon was much more amateur style in the ring. But Collazo, he like sits down on his punches. Nice body shot from him. The ref said lift that up. That was fucking a perfect body shot. What are you talking about, ref? Nice counter right, but doesn't look much power on it. Double left. Already he's getting him against the ropes, but Gutierrez is game. I don't think Collazo beats the Japanese kid, though. And the good thing about the Japanese kid, I don't know if you guys watched him, his brother is also a world champion in the minimum weight division as well. So it's kind of like the Charlos all over again. 2 brothers dominating the weight class, kind of like the Klitschkos. This is definitely a fast-paced fight. Good jab from Collazo. Nice counter. Collazo sharp and good defense, good head movement. It's good that Golden Boy is giving this kid an opportunity, because you know these fights are always entertaining. And if you showcase them in the States, people will see it, even if you don't know who the fighters are. At least you recognize that it's entertaining and fun. Boxing scenes, boxing ratings. Good round from Collazo. Good movement. So let's go to the minimum weight. I'm just wondering who this guy's mandatory is right now. Luis Castillo, Victoria Saludo, Taniguchi, Melvin Jerusalem, who we already beat, Andalis, Alex Winwood, the kid that was 2-0 that beat this guy, is number 6. Oh, Hansboy Dumsadov, the Uzbekistanian amateur fighter. If you guys watch amateur boxing, the Olympics and whatnot, this kid, Dumsadov, he is dominant. Dominant. He's fighting amateurs and still fighting pros. It's good to see that he's ranked. Now, hopefully, he will get an opportunity. Very good fighter. Old, though. I think he's already like in his early 30s. Salva Zhu, Chinese fighter. And then this guy. This guy is ranked number 10 by the WBO. So it's the champion against number 10 ranked opponent. Oh, that was a nice left hand. Another nice left from Collazo. Collazo's good, right? Getting in, getting out, head movement, not getting hit too much. Goes to the body a bit. That's one thing I was disappointed by Funduro's sister. She doesn't go to the body as much as she should. Women boxers, do they punch to the body? I don't think so. Nice counter by Gutierrez. Oh, it looks like Hansbo Dumsadov is number 1 mandatory for WBA champion. He is the number 2 ranked fighter, with number 1 being vacant. That would be good. Him fighting the Thai guy for a championship. Oh, oh yeah. Go Collazo. Collazo got a little mouse under his eye too. Wow. Collazo's landing some good shots. And he's down. Gutierrez on the ground, face down. Come on, dude. You got to get up. Yeah, I'm good. Don't worry. 46 seconds. You can get him out in 3. Oh, clean shots from Collazo. This is what you wanted. Collazo go out there and knock this kid out in 3 rounds. What a fucking statement. On DAZN TV, Jaime Munguia undercard. Oh, that was a good performance. Solid. That's what you want, man. Small weight fighters like him getting in there, doing the business like that. Like, people are so critical of small weight fighters, but what fighter in boxing is doing that? I'm not saying they're not, but like that's what you expect. That's what you expect champions to do against good contenders, but not elite top level contenders. Go in there, fucking dispatch dudes sensationally. And that's what he did. He did everything he needed to do on a Jaime Munguia undercard. So congratulations to him. That was great performance. Nice performance, Collazo. Boom!
Oscar Collazo looked at, stepping back, beautiful right hook, pile of money. Trying to go around the guard, but not smothering himself. I would like to see
not like the dude earlier.
Body shots, but when you're landing shots that cleanly around the guard, you're gonna just keep punching. You can see how strong Collazo is, how athletic he is, making room, stepping back, checking him with the left and right crosses.
Ryder might pull off the upset.
It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to watch. Love watching power boxers like this.
Me too. Call out fucking Sugiura.
liked what I saw. Want to see it again.
Because if it's not
I've been learning
UD,
the last
then
couple
it's
of
his
times.
brother.
Last fight with Melvin Jerusalem, I was impressed. With Daniel, now with this one,
His
we
brother.
always expect there wasn't much tape on Gutierrez, but we know that he was going to take his time. And, he got the
And then the
knockout
Thai
shooting
fighter.
he also did.
And Oscar Collazo. Nice performance, young man. That's what you want, man. That was a great performance from the young man. The world title fight. I remember when Carbajal and Chiquita Gonzalez first brought attention to the lower weight fights. Well, they didn't first bring attention to it, but in America, obviously after Carbajal was part of the Olympic team, they got a lot of attention, obviously in the States. Carbajal and Chiquita, they were the first guys to make $1 million in the small weight divisions. Come on, boxing fans. That was a good performance. 9-0, 7 KOs.
With 7 knockouts. They used to say you got to climb up a couple weight classes and jump in on the money fights now. Ben Rodriguez has opened up a lot of doors.
Hey, listen, he said he wanted to move up all the way to 115. I mean, he's a muscular fighter, and I think he carries his power up to 108. 115 is maybe a little stretch, but he's still growing at 27.
Well, at 108, you have Ken Shiro, the unified Japanese champion. So, you know, that's a big fight if he moved up to fight Ken Shiro. But you got 2 fucking brothers at this weight class. Don't leave that weight division not fighting one of them, or even the long reigning Thai champion, who obviously is the longest reigning champion of all of them. I mean, you better fucking unify and take on one of those dudes. See, if you don't unify titles, how much credit can we give you for a division? Because you're not proving you're the best. You're just proving you're happy to get a belt, get in, get out.
Your world title, 4th straight knockout, and you seem to be making it look easier every single time. How did you feel about this performance?
No, I think it was an A. But I gotta talk to my team and see what we can work on. There's a lot of things we can work on. But I think it was a good fight. It was a good way to show the world that I'm the best number 105 pound out there.
Are
Not a
ya?
lot of tape
Are ya?
there on Gutierrez. How long did it take you to figure it out?
I only had 1 round. Want to see 1 round, we'll see what he got. And I know I could pick my punches. It was a matter of time.
Walk me through the finish of this fight. Was it just the volume of punches that eventually caught up to him? Did you feel you hurt him with something?
Yeah, it was eventually. I was stepping step by step with my punches, and I know in that round I was gonna land a big shot, and I landed, and that was over.
What goes through your mind as a finisher when you see a guy buckled against the ropes like that?
I know I can finish it. I think I'm a good finisher in the ring, and when I see it, they stumble, they bad, they hurt, I'm coming for the kill.
You made the point to us earlier in the week that even though you're a world champion, you're still learning on the job here. What did you learn during this camp? What do you take away from a fight like this?
I think it was a beautiful camp. It was an extraordinary camp. You know, I did all things good, 12 weeks. I think as a champion, you gotta work hard always, because you know what, a lot of people want this that I got to work hard, and I think my camp was perfect. And just keep working. I see y'all in May, April, and come back.
May, April, you're coming back, and you want to add another belt to that collection.
Hey, I want all the champions. I want to unify this year. To any of the brothers, the Chiyoko brothers, or the knockout CP Fresh Mark, I'm coming. Hey, and Oscar, man, this is my first one. This is my first defense this year.
You want to explain what that means? There's a little bit of money in the pot?
Yeah, I know he hurt me. I know he got that tweet right there. And hey, I'm defending this year. I want that money.
Oscar De La Hoya might be a few million more after this year. Congratulations, Oscar.
Hey, gracias a todos.
Well, it's good the young man's getting some paydays, right? And he did what he had to do. Performed great today. And I'm happy to see him call out the other champions. But to fight the Japanese guys, you may need to go to Japan. To fight Fresh Mart, you probably could get Fresh Mart to the States for sure. You know, Fresh Mart ain't making that big money in Thailand. So, if you offer him a career high payday, you might be able to drag his ass over to California to do a big fight. Obviously, maybe even New York City would be bigger, since this dude is obviously Puerto Rican, and the Puerto Rican Parade boys will come out for that fight. Unification against CP Freshmart. But yeah, good performance, good work. I'm happy to see the small weight divisions get some attention. And the great thing about him being part of it, he's English speaker, right? So it's easy to elevate these smaller weight divisions when you have fighters that people can relate to, like a Bam Rodriguez or an Oscar Collazo, because these dudes can actually talk to the media, North American media, and obviously give their takes, which is exactly what boxing media wants. If boxing media can't really talk to you, they're going to kind of ignore you and just, you're going to get limited press. But yeah. Nick's in the house. What's up, Nick? Hit the like and subscribe. Yes, people, if you're here and you're not subscribed, the least you can do is give the brother a subscription, because I'm trying to break that 120 subscription position today, which isn't that much. Come on. I mean, right now it's only 95. 95. Come on, people. 95. We got to at least get 5 more subscribers to hit the 100 mark, which would be 100 subscribers in over a week. I'm a little disappointed, I'll say that. 7,000 subscribers and only 100 people, not even 100 people have resubscribed yet to my new channel. Where the fuck are you? Where are you at? Come on, people. If you are boxing fans and Sean Newton boxing fan, then you should jump on. And even if you're a hater, you should still subscribe, because where else can you come have dialogue back and forth with somebody that actually gives you attention and is recognizing of your opinion, even if I disagree with it. Let's listen to fucking Fury.
Possible. And that's what you got to do. And whether you got to
Thank you very much, Jed. I saw you. It popped up on my phone.
Do it. Because that's what your profession is. Do it. Work hard, dedicate yourself, and do the best you can. Because there is no tomorrow, like on the Rocky movie. Apollo said there is no tomorrow.
Good movie.
Tomorrow don't exist. There is no tomorrow. So do it today and enjoy it.
I've always said with boxing, because you know better than me the dangers of the sport, I've always said get in, get rich, get out. Right? You've got in, you've made some good money. I don't know what's in your pocket. You've made some good money. When is the get out bit? When's enough in terms of the money?
It's not really enough as enough. It's like I'm doing it because I can, and I don't really have anything else to do. So if it was about just getting in and getting rich and all that, I'd have retired a long time ago, because I made a lot of money quite quickly. But I don't know. The temptation of boxing is you're training for a reason, you're training for a goal, you've got that big build up for a big fight. You're going to fight somebody else who's doing exactly the same thing. And no matter how old you are, or how many miles you're on the clock, or whatever it's going on, it's like, well, is it now? It's like having a child. When's it a good time to have a kid? When's it a good time to get married? When's it not?
Yeah.
It's never a good time. Sometimes you got to make a decision and stick with it. But I've made decisions where I've retired before, didn't stick with it, come back more times than been or anything. But I'm sitting at home, having a cheese sandwich, taking the kids to school. What am I having for tea?
Yeah.
Where am I going on the weekends? Yeah. Like, I've been at a very, very, almost like a supernatural level of this game. You get like boxers and it's like game changers and people like that. So it's not very often you're in a position where you can go and fight for like obscene amounts of money and all the world's watching and everything else. It's obviously a very addictive thing, boxing. I think it's more addictive than drugs and alcohol.
And you would know.
Drugs and alcohol, but you can never get rid of boxing. Because even when the boxing's finished, you still want to be around it, you still want to watch it and everything. So it's a very addictive thing. Why do I still do boxing? I have no idea, because I'm a stupid probably.
Well, maybe because you're the best heavyweight on the planet.
Well, maybe
it helps being the best as well.
Maybe I'm very stupid as well. There's never a good time to let it go.
All roads lead to Bilbao.
But that was a good analogy, right? when's a good time to have a kid? I need to save more money. Financially, I'm not viable now. It's probably not the best time. I should wait. I should make sure I get that promotion. When should you get married, right? We can't afford to buy a house. We can't do this. There's always excuses why you shouldn't do something. And with boxing, it's the same, right? And you can understand the allure. Imagine the adrenaline of you focus, you train 8 weeks, you're in there dedicated to one point and one purpose. And then you walk in front of 20,000 people. And that's a small, not small, but obviously not the 80,000, but you walk in front of 20,000 people screaming and cheering, the lights, the adrenaline, the fucking rush, and you get in there. Man, that shit, you can see that it would be more addictive than drugs for sure, which is why boxers can never leave, right? Unfortunately. No Usyk and Zhang, the best heavyweights. Wow, now you're just talking out your ass. I don't think anyone thinks Zhang is the best, but he's a top 10 fighter, that's for sure. And that's been recent. When he struggled with that American dude and looked like he was going to lose that fight and should have lost that fight, nobody was calling him top 10 at that point. Only thanks to his surprise performance against Hrgovic, which surprised everyone, and then even bigger surprise, his knockout victory of Joyce, and then the rematch. Those 3 fights created a star. But here we go. Jaime Munguia, John Ryder, what we've been waiting for all day, people. Good work. Nice. This fight is not going to disappoint, right? It's just not going to disappoint. That Kriel Nastianga 2 fight, they're also on DAZN, right? So Collazo moving up and taking on the winner of that is a real possibility, especially if it's Kriel winning in the rematch, because that's only 1 division up, right? Yeah, right there. Adrian. So literally the IBF champion at 108 pounds. The WBO champion, Jonathan Gonzalez, another potential opponent that Collazo could fight, also Puerto Rican. And I think he's part of DAZN as well. So there are some potential fights if he wants to move up and go to 108, right? Both of those fights would be good. Puerto Rico, Mexico, Puerto Rico, WBO, WBO. Obviously, that's a smooth transition. But yeah, I don't know why people are disinterested in smaller weight fighters. We just had literally last week Ken Shiro defend his titles against what's his face, Carlos Castanedas, in a fucking great fight. On Tuesday, the fight happened. That fight potentially could be fight of the year as well. That fight was great. If you haven't seen it, check it out, because that fight won't disappoint. And you can go here to watch all fights, people. See, I'm so nice. I'm helping you out. Go to Telegram. Telegram, right there. You see Telegram. And you can jump on Batman Boxing. Only 1,300 subscribers, but every single fight that's happening is there. Dalakian in his loss. Tenshin Nasukawa, a very good fighter. That's the guy that Floyd Mayweather went to Japan to fight. Dude looks good. Looks really good. And then, of course, this fight. Kenshiro Taraji versus Carlo Canzanales. A fight of the year, right? A great fight. Check it out. You won't be disappointed if you haven't seen it. So where are we? 8 rounds says, got to put some respect on Zhang. I just put some respect on him. I said his last 3 performances have been outstanding. I'll be back. I'm going to grab a Starbucks coffee in a can, black. Because I'm not racist. I like my coffee black. What are you guys drinking? Here it's like 12:30 lunchtime. But where you are, it's like 12:30 at night or later or earlier. Look at Gabe Rosado. Gabe Rosado with the fucking tweed jacket.
But that Canelo fight, when he fought so well, is a hard fight to work. He showed great determination. There's sometimes fights like that are miles on the clock you can't take back. And there's a worry there that maybe he might not have the quickness of sharpness of mind to react as quick as he'll have to when Munguia makes mistakes. And he does make mistakes, but you've got to be brave. This shot is, you also got to be quick enough to make that reaction straight away. If after a half fight like that, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, he had a hard fight against Canelo. You can say the same thing about Munguia. He had a hard fight against Derevchenko.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Diet Mountain Dew. We don't have Diet Mountain Dew in Taiwan. Disappointing. I drink that.
I think he fights to the level of his opponent. And I think he probably overlooked Lomachenko. And Lomachenko, he's a game guy, do a bunch of punches, but Munguia came back as a real champion and got the knockout.
Yeah. What does Munguia do right, Barry?
Well, I think there's a like box criticism as well. There's a box yourself. So when he attacks a dog, he punches long when he comes forward. So he wants to get close and work away, but actually he punches quite long, so he's coming forward well. That makes it hard for you to hit the clean. Because he's so aggressive, then he's going to be hit. But he knows he has a great chin, and he's down to it. He's willing to take a shot, to land the shot.
Yeah, Munguia getting warmed up there with a great Freddie Roach. Again, your former coach. I mean, you know this combination very well. Having fought Munguia and been trained by Freddie Roach.
So what do you guys think about Freddie Roach in the corner of Munguia? Freddie Roach is great with aggressive fighters, right? And obviously, Freddie Roach, Munguia, it looks like it potentially is the perfect matchup. Oh, here's Rosado.
I think you're going to see a big difference there. I think you see Munguia who comes forward now, but takes a little angle. And that's what Freddie used to do so well with Yogi Taka. He punch, take an angle of attack, and then go again.
Certainly, that should be a good one. That was a good fight as well.
One thing with Munguia, man, he takes a hell of a shot. You know, he really knows how to take a shot. That's a skill to actually take a shot. He kind of rides with the shot last minute. It lands, but he takes that steam off of it last minute. So that's something he does well.
All right, let's hear from
something he does well. Oh, here's fucking Oscar.
Oscar De La Hoya, still the most popular man in every building that he walks into. I do want to clarify one thing that Oscar Collazo said to you in the ring. Maybe the fans didn't catch on. He said, that's one, Oscar. You promised one of your fighters, if they defend their world title 5 times, $5 million, he said. Is that true?
$500,000.
Okay, we're cutting it
5 times.
5 times.
5 times, baby. Just the way I did it in 1997.
Any title defenses back then. A different time in the world of boxing. One of your fighters who is no longer world champion is Jaime Munguia.
$500,000 for 5 defenses.
68 pounds. He is taking on his first true super middleweight in John Ryder. He's fought this weight class before, but this is the first true super middleweight he's fought. What are you expecting to see from him?
I'm expecting to see a lot of intelligence. We know Jaime Munguia to brawl, to be in fight of the year fights. We expect him to come out a little cautious because we don't know what Ryder's going to bring to the table. We know that he's a strong, durable, has a great chin, can take a punch, but we don't know exactly how he's going to come out, especially after he learned a lot from Canelo Alvarez. So Ryder is a live dog. Munguia, we have to be very cautious, but I strongly feel that Munguia can knock him out.
Me too.
This fight, Munguia parted ways with Eric Morales, his former trainer, now teaming up with Freddie Roach, who of course you trained with at the end of your career. How did you feel about that decision?
The best decision he can ever make. I love Eric Morales. He's a great trainer, great person. But Freddie Roach, trainer of the year multiple times, he has the experience to take Jaime Munguia to another level.
If Jaime Munguia looks in
Freddie looking old, man.
He's a Canelo Alvarez.
Freddie looking old.
I hope so. It's up to Canelo. I heard he's fighting the brother again. I have no clue. I have no idea what's going to go on, but if Jaime Munguia impresses, if Jaime Munguia steals the show tonight and impresses the way we think he will,
he has a shot at Canelo.
Before I let you go, there was a lot of confusion this week about the future of Ryan Garcia. He tweeted out early in the week that he was fighting Rolly Romero on April 20th. Within 12 hours, Rolly tweeted out, "No, I'm fighting Isaac Cruz." What is the future of Ryan Garcia?
The future of Ryan Garcia is the brightest that it has ever been. Ryan Garcia is focused. He's determined. He's going to fight the best. Mark my words. Rolly's Pitbull, that's just an appetizer. Don't worry about that. I want to work with every promoter out there. I want to go out there and work with Bob Arum, work with Eddie Hearn, work with everyone, every single one.
Not Al?
So where's Al? Al, come up from hiding, please.
Have a nice week after the show. Maybe get a little dinner.
Al, come out of hiding. Well, we know Al, what he's doing. Al is fucking making fights, but internal fights. Oscar just did a few lines in the bathroom. He definitely looks like he did a few lines, right? If I was Oscar, I'd be doing a few lines in the bathroom, right? That's like fucking Cal Salomon, right? You know, he likes to snort coke. But when you're these dudes, you can afford coke. What's the problem? Do a couple lines here on a big night. You know, you're going to be interviewed. You're going to be jacked up, excited, ready to go.
Rick, I'm not quite sure yet, to be honest. I gotta be honest. I think the fact that he is hittable and how clean Canelo hits and how accurate he's with his shots, I think that's a recipe for disaster maybe for Munguia. I'm just gonna say really quickly, so I think everyone's underestimating the intelligence of John Ryder. I know he's strong, he comes forward, but actually he's thoughtful in his work. He's a better boxer and people give him credit for. So if Munguia thinks he's going to use his brain more, I think Munguia going to use brawn over brain. He sets the boxing up, he might find Ryder hard to pass what he goes.
One thing I think we can say when it comes to the Canelo sweepstakes is that there isn't anyone obvious yet. It doesn't look like it's going to be Benavidez, does it?
He's
David
the
Morales is around. And Kabalanga potentially is out there as well. We might talk about that later, Gabe. But you're right. If Munguia puts in a performance worthy of the Canelo shout-out, then why not Munguia Canelo remain?
And this is the perfect stage for it because he's fighting Ryder, and if he can do what Canelo could do, which get a knockout, that's going to speak volumes right there.
Certainly can.
Exactly. That's the goal, right? Things would work out perfect for Oscar and Munguia if Munguia goes out there and stops John Ryder. Something Canelo couldn't do. If he does that, something Callum Smith couldn't do, right? Something that Zach Parker couldn't do. Something that Danny Jacobs couldn't do. If Jaime Munguia does that, then he's going to be right there for the obviously the big money fight with with Canelo Alvarez.
But ultimately, I think the work rate Munguia, where it's on an older rider, and I think it'll be wrong line in the game.
I can barely hear both of them because the noise levels have gone up. Trying to anticipate on what they're going to see in a few moments. Our commentary team is ready as well. Gents, we're going to throw it back down to you guys now. I won't ask for predictions, but we're expecting something very, very special.
And they both said 9th round stoppage by Munguia. That sounds about kind of where you guys are at, too, right?
Yeah, mid-round, but I'm even going to go a little bit further. I think it's going to be a body shot that Munguia lands on Ryder.
I think Ryder gets to the final bell. This is a tough guy with a lot of pride.
Well, Ryder has a lot to look at, things positive that he can beat Munguia. We know Munguia gives as good as he gets, but he sure gets it a lot. As Sergey Derevyanchenko showed us, Munguia was rocked so many times in that fight, but his chin is becoming something of legend.
Well, he has a Mexican style. He has a legendary Mexican.
You know, the one thing that people need to understand in this fight, and tell me if I'm wrong, my prediction is the same. 9th round TKO. We talked about it earlier. But the one thing we know about Matchroom DAZN fighters, when they step up and face Mexican opponents, what happens? Leave in the comment section below. What happens when Eddie Hearn's English fighters step up to fight Mexican fighters? I'll wait for your response in the comment section below. Go people, tell me. Freddie Roach is looking old, but the good thing for him is this work. Obviously, that keeps him fucking going. If he didn't have this going on, he probably would have been dead by now. But I think every day, getting to the gym, doing this kind of stuff, staying busy, mentally staying focused. Obviously, he doesn't even need to think about it because it's so ingrained muscle memory that I think for him, that's what's keeping him going. But none of you even left. What happens? What happens when matchroom English fighters step up to fight Mexican fighters? They get knocked out, right? There's like fucking a million examples of that. Them thinking they're taking on some one-dimensional fighter, bring him over to the UK only to get their ass beat and end up losing their title, whether it's Josh Warrington, whether it's Lee Wood, whether it's, who knows? It's a plethora of Eddie Hearn fighters that end up getting knocked out when they step up to face Mexicans. So what's going to happen today? Come on. John Ryder stepping up to face a Mexican fighter in Jaime Munguia, taller, a little longer, a guy who I think because of the weight is going to be comfortable. We know his gas tank is great. He can throw 100 punches for 12 rounds easy, and that's one of the benefits he has. So I definitely think that's going to play in a lot in this fight. And yes, John Ryder hasn't been knocked out since he got beat by his fellow UK fighter back in the day at 160. But it's just a matter of one shot landing, right? That's all it takes. One clean shot, and that's all she wrote. And the thing that Munguia has, it's his volume. You can block some shots, you can get ready for other shots, but you're not going to see them all. And eventually something's going to get through. But in saying that, John Ryder is a real fucking dog. And there's a real possibility that he's going to upset the fucking apple cart and send Jaime Munguia home fucking crying. I would not be surprised in the least if that happened.
Ladies and gentlemen, the waiting is finally over.
Let's do it. Hey, there's Morales. Eric.
In the super middleweight division. And first is his way to the ring.
Mexican mayor. Ryder pulling off the upset. Could happen, for sure. It's funny, Morales, how far he came. He was the country bumpkin, the uneducated guy, the guy that was really being sort of downplayed and criticized, Aboriginal sort of family background, not Spanish, sort of conquistador, not like, obviously, what's his face? Barrera. And there was real hate between those two guys because obviously Barrera's family was well off. He's from Mexico City, more educated. And now Morales is fucking running for like political position. Ryder has a lot of heart, for sure. Heart. Wow.
He can win rounds. He's clever enough, strong enough, and creative enough with a combination to actually confuse and really upset some guys. I mean, he did it before, and he can do it again.
He got nothing to lose, everything to gain. Munguia, where's your sombrero? Sombrero.
27 of his last 33. He is an offensive juggernaut, Chris Banks. But when will those punches to the chin that he always continuously seems to absorb, when will those punches eventually break him down?
He keeps getting into fights of the year like he did with Sergey Derevyanchenko sooner rather than later. 6-2-0, 33 knockouts. He is a legit top contender in whatever division he is fighting in the States. They could not be higher for Jaime Munguia. win and win impressively, and a bit more to be waiting for him later this year.
We're here. We're ready. Ha ha ha. B-Hop, Morales, De La Hoya versus Eddie Hearn. Boxing Hall of Famers versus the British wanker. Don't get me wrong. I'm an Eddie Hearn fan. But Eddie Hearn is all alone on an island by himself. It's a good venue. Good crowd. I wonder how many people are there. Does anyone know? We're about to be entertained in what could very well be Fight of the Year, an early contender for Fight of the Year 2024. Is Jaime Munguia ever in a bad fight? I don't think so. See, this is the problem. When people don't understand the difference between recognizing someone who's entertaining to watch and recognizing someone who's very skilled and just a great boxer. We can recognize Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson as great fighters, great boxers. But we recognize Jaime Munguia as a very entertaining fighter. Part of what makes him entertaining is his style, the fact that he's not afraid to get hit to land punches, the fact that he is vulnerable, making his fights that much more competitive. Whereas Haney and Shakur, these are guys that don't want to take risks. They fight defensive. They want to be safe rather than sorry. They don't want to take punches to land punches. And because of that, their fights can end up being stinkers. This isn't hate. This isn't racism. No one's hating on them because their style. We just recognize that this style is different. It's not as entertaining. This style is more entertaining. That's why more people want to watch this style of fighter as opposed to that. If you throw in a Tank Davis, now it's different. Tank Davis is bigger than all of these guys together. Why? Because stylistically, he's super entertaining. The guy's got dynamite in his hands. He can fucking win a fight with one punch. He is very explosive, right? Which is why he is a bigger star than any of the four people I just mentioned. Is this in Sun Stadium where the Suns play? What's that belt?
This bout is sanctioned by the Arizona Boxing and MMA Commission. Executive Director at ringside, Danny Gala. The WBC supervisor in attendance is Robert Lenhart. Your three judges scoring at ringside on the 10-point bus system. From Mexico, Javier Camacho. From Arizona, Dennis O'Connell. And from the UK, Kevin Parker. And inside the ring, your referee in charge of the action from Arizona, Les Mountain.
He's kind of shit.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
she's kind of hot. Nice lips, nice tits. Let's do it. Ah, it's a good crowd.
Introducing you first, blue corner, wearing black trunks, he weighed officially 167 3/4 pounds. In 38 professional bouts, his record stands at 32 victories, with 6 defeats, 18 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the challenger from Islington, London, UK, the two-time interim super middleweight world champion, John the Gorilla. And across the ring stands his opponent, fighting in the red corner. Wearing tonight, silver trunks trimmed in red, green, and gold. He too weighing 167 3/4 pounds, and in 42 professional bouts, he is perfect for Shoulder face. 33 wins coming by way of knockdown, presenting the former WBO Junior Middleweight World Champion, the current reigning undefeated WBC Silver Super Middleweight Champion. Presentando
What's that belt?
el equipo desde Tijuana, California, México, Ryder.
He's one of us. Is that what they said? Here we are. The fight's here. Let's get ready, people. Strap down. Drinks ready. Anything could happen. They say Jaime Munguia is 6 feet tall, but he kind of slouches, right? So it's hard to see if he's actually that much taller than John Ryder, who they listed 5'9". But here we go. Round one is about to begin. Let's do it. And we're off. Round one. The 168-pound death match between Ryder and Munguia. Both guys trying to establish their foot position and establish their jabs. This is the problem when you have southpaw versus orthodox fighters. John Ryder getting in there. Good little hook to the body from Ryder. Nice straight shot by Munguia to the body. They're talking about John Ryder controlling the center of the ring. So far, so good. He got the middle of the ring. Oh, nice little combination from Munguia. Counter shot from Ryder. Nice little long left from Munguia. That shot seems to be there. The lead left. Not really a jab because he kind of hooked it. Good combination from Munguia. That's him. He's a combination puncher. Nice jab to the body. Oh, there you go. That was a nice right hand. John Ryder already showing a little bit of redness on his face. Nice lead hand by Ryder. Munguia round for sure. Easy, controlled, not getting ahead of himself, not being crazy, but that was a solid round. fighting when he wanted to fight, not fighting based on what John Ryder wanted, establishing his range. You get into Ryder, a little bit of redness on Ryder's face already. I think he's got a mouse under his eye. So here we go. Round 2 is coming. What do you guys think of round 1? Did you think Munguia won, or did somebody give it to Ryder? I got it 1-0 Munguia. 1-0 Munguia. Boom. Boom. Oh, there you go. A nice 1-2. Round 2, and we're off. Munguia coming out a little fiery already. Munguia likes to fucking go, eh? Oh, look, you're complaining about hitting and holding, and now you're doing it. I don't like this ref. He gets involved too much. Nice little uppercut in the inside by Ryder. Good little body shot from Munguia. Those rounds changed quite a bit. A lot more inside type of stuff, but not even throwing on the inside. Just a lot of getting the inside and holding. Oh, man, that came quick. That came quick. The combination punching, right? Man, fucking, if Munguia knocks out John Ryder in 2 rounds, oh my fucking God. Oh my days. Don't get too aggressive and walk into something, though, buddy. A lot of wrestling and holding. Obviously, John Ryder. Man. Don't fucking be so wide with your shots, Munguia. You're just giving him opportunity to counter punch you. Look at Munguia fucking bullying him. (10-8) round. Munguia. Damn, son. That was serious. That was a serious round. That was a serious round, buddy. That's what I said, right? Like, Munguia with his combination punching, you can defend against a couple shots, block a shot, but something's going to get in that you don't see. It took Canelo 6 rounds to drop Ryder, and it only took Munguia 2. Yes, different fighters though, but that's true. That's a fact. If he's able to knock out Ryder and put on this kind of performance and get him out quick, that's a statement, man. And even in doing that, people are still going to act like somehow Canelo Alvarez is cherry picking Munguia if that fight gets made, which is ridiculous, right? I mean, come on. We understand the fight to make next is Benavidez versus Canelo. But in all reality, a Munguia fucking Canelo fight just may be bigger. And as I say, the Berlanga Munguia fight now looks way more fucking appetizing. That fight would be big. So round 3, Munguia establishing the jab a lot more. Good straight shots to the body from Munguia. Those are smart, man. Smart shots to the body. If I was Eddie Hearn, I don't know if I'd ever put one of my English fighters in with a Mexican. I think it just does not work. It just does not work. Ryder's getting aggressive, though. He's throwing, man. Munguia is asserting his dominance. That's what you want to do. Get in his head. Make him know you're not as strong as me. That I can push you around, throw you around. Oh, nice right hand from Munguia. Nice counter left from Munguia, catching and throwing. More good shots to the body. That shit's going to pay dividends, man. Oh, fight in the crowd. Always fights in the crowd, eh? Round 3. Munguia is asserting his dominance. Looking calm, relaxed, composed, not really breathing too hard. Look at him, eh? Guy's got a great gas tank. Munguia looking good, looking good. Munguia is a solid fighter. Right now, at 168 pounds, I definitely think you put him in the top 5, right? Canelo, Benavidez, Morel, Munguia, and then I don't know who you want there. Plant at number 5. Because I think Munguia beats fucking Plant. I don't know if he beats Benavidez, Canelo, or Morel, but I feel confident that he beats Plant. Nice 1-2 from Munguia. Nice jab. Starting to establish his jab a lot more now. So that's just going to make it easy work. Look at De La Hoya's woman. (42-22). Munguia, 152 punches thrown, 28%. Get in range. There you go. Nice right hand. Good hook to the body. That was a good shot by Ryder. Good shots by Ryder. Back in Munguia against the ropes. It's been a first time since we've seen that. Look at B-Hop. B-Hop's fucking keen, man. He's into it. Hi, baby. Go. Come. Go. Who's a good girl? Oh, look at that, eh? Like, look at how Munguia controlled that fight. Controlled the distance, fought in the outside, boxing and moving, and just walked fucking Ryder into a big shot. Fuck. That's a dominant performance and showing versatility. I know Munguia doesn't get much credit as a skilled fighter, but look at the way he approached that round. He was not throwing tons of punches. He's not getting in a war, a back and a forth. He's literally controlling distance behind the jab, using his feet to move, getting Ryder to follow him, leading him into a big shot and dropping him on his ass. That was a good round. Nice counter by John Ryder on the inside. Yeah, it's just caught him, man, coming in. Baby. Here we go, round 5. The heat's on Ryder. He needs to be effective. And for Munguia, don't walk into anything. Control, composed. I was invited to go to lunch, but Sunday, I can't go to lunch on Sundays. Lunch Sunday is Boxing Day. Munguia got to stay with Roach for sure, eh? Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, the only reason he'd leave Roach now is... Oh, that was a nice right hand from Munguia. Nice hook to the body from Ryder. Ryder's game. He's no fucking pussy, but you sitting on the ropes, letting him control your distance behind the jab, walking into right hands, you're not going to win the fight that way. This is not a hard fight to score. The good thing I can say about watching fights like this with you guys is I'm not listening to the commentary. So I have no idea what they're saying, and they're not getting in my head, not like, you know, impacting my decision. But Munguia is fighting good. Good shot by Ryder. Nice jab by Ryder. This has been a much easier performance than the Derevchenko fight. Way easier. But Derevchenko, right? A different fighter than John Ryder. What's up, baby? Hi. Who's a good girl? It's been very cold in Taiwan, so she's been wearing her jacket. You know, I'll tell you, I was so disappointed on Tuesday because I got a message from my school talking about schools being closed because of the cold. So I was hoping that meant that they were going to close our school because of the cold, because I wanted to leave a Facebook message talking about how I did not have to go to school on Tuesday because it was 6 degrees outside. 6 degrees. Mind you, we didn't get canceled. It was Taipei because they had snow in the mountains and it was colder down a little lower. But cold, like 1, 0, maybe -1, maybe -2, right? So schools were closed because of -2. Imagine that. Here we go, round 6. Let's see if John Ryder can do anything different. For Munguia, so far, it's been easy work. Easy work. Keep going to that body, Munguia. Now Ryder's coming in like that. He's going to be open for the uppercut on the inside. Ryder's pushing it, bullying in. What's wrong?
What do you want to see him do to turn it up?
Use more jabs and more right hands to the body. He's like, he's kind of letting us jab up a little bit too much.
Nice, buddy.
There you go. More jabs, more right hands to the body. I agree. That shit sets up his big shots to the head. Nice straight punch from Ryder. Another good jab from Ryder. Ryder is game, man. Ryder is game. That's one thing. Nice, good combination from Ryder. So far, this is definitely his best round. Round 6. You got to do something, right? You got dropped twice. You're obviously down on the scorecards. Now's the time to make a move, and he's done that. I think he's probably winning this round so far. Good right to the body again from Munguia. What are you doing? What are you doing? Munguia using his feet. Oh, that was a nice little sneaky shot from Ryder on the inside. Oh, good round for John Ryder. John Ryder got a round. There you go. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. John Ryder wins the 6th round on my scorecard. So that's not bad. At least now he's making it competitive. You can land shots. Keep doing what you're doing. See if Munguia can adjust. That was like a corkscrew jab he threw. That's effective, though. It's good to see him making adjustments. What are you doing? Hey? What are you doing? All being said, Munguia hasn't hurt Ryder like Canelo did, even though he did drop him twice. But keep hitting him with body shots like that. You said it's a low shot? I don't know about that. B-Hop is agitated. B-Hop is agitated. Come on, fucking this ref always fucking in the middle of shit. There you go. Double, triple that jab. Get in the inside. Land those shots. There you go. Good shots. Nice counter from Ryder. Ryder is slick, man. He lands those little counter shots. Good body shot from Munguia. Okay, ref. Okay. Jesus Christ. Get out of there. You got to shorten your shots up a little bit, Jaime. That's the good thing Ryder does. Short shots, right? Maybe not so powerful, but short, straight to the target. This round's far more competitive. So far, I don't know if anyone's taken hold of it yet. John Ryder might have pulled that round off as well. He might have. MVP in Puerto Rico, Serrano and Paul. You know, I'm getting more and more behind Amanda Serrano. I definitely think pound for pound, she probably should be number one right now, ahead of both Clarissa Shields and Katie Taylor. She's just done it, right? Longer period of time, jumped up multiple weight divisions to take on the best woman in that class, undisputed, obviously great resume, obviously far bigger and deeper than Taylor and Shields because she's just been around much longer. And the one thing that she does that's great is she's got power, right? So she's a far more enticing female boxer. Hi, baby, you're enticing. So round 8. As I said, my prediction was round 9, but based on John Ryder's last two rounds, 6 and 7, it looks like this fight could very easily go 12 rounds. Very easily. John Ryder starting to feel himself a little bit. Munguia starting to open up a bit from range. Keep going to that body. Nice counter shot from Ryder. Nice jab from Munguia. Good counter from Ryder. Ryder's just waiting for him to overextend and then counter him with short shots on the inside, like right there, trying to catch him on the inside. That's why, Munguia, you better double up that jab. Oh, some big shots landed from Munguia and some good counters from Ryder. Hit the body, Munguia. Hit the body. Don't just go to the head. Look at De La Hoya. Dig in. Hit that body with the big fucking hook. Calm down, Melton. Jesus Christ. Nobody cares about you. Nice uppercut on the inside from Munguia. Ryder's effective in the inside. That's obviously why he couldn't deal with Canelo. Munguia is not as good an inside fighter as John Ryder is. John Ryder utilizes those short arms. There you go. Nice right hand or left hand. Calm down. That round was close. The last two I gave John Ryder. That round started very quick from Munguia. John Ryder ended it. But I would say probably Munguia got this decision. Khan.
In that last round, what do you think of the action you've seen? The action is going really good. I mean, if you look at the first early round, it was not Munguia was going to get the knockout early. I thought he was going to get the stoppage. But then you see Ryder got that second win. I think he got better and better and he got stronger as the round went on. And with that big shot, he caught Munguia with the last one of them. Look, in the 50 fight, on point scale, you got Munguia. But at the moment, I think with Ryder coming strong. Good to take it. I mean, look, the full power. And it is a good fight.
What does he need to do to close the gap?
I think he needs to stop getting more pressure, landing a big heavy shot, and sitting down on the big shots as well, and getting that range in that space. Thanks very much.
Here we go. My round, my prediction, round 9. Let's see if Munguia can fucking pull it out. Come on, Jaime. Hit that body. Don't just go fucking head hunting. Body, there you go. Good left to the body. Throw the good shots to the body and then come to the head. Nice right hand. Oh my God. That punch didn't even look like it hit him that hard. Must have hit him on the temple because he dropped like a fucking stone. I didn't even think that was one of the best punches that he hit him with. Yeah, okay, ref. Let's go. We got 2 minutes, Munguia. Jump on him. Jump on him. Oh, is it going to be? What? They didn't stop it, did they? No. Calm down. This guy counts so slow. What? What are you talking about? Come on. He's hurt. You got to fucking get him out of there. Keep throwing. Come on, Munguia. What are they doing? They throwing the towel? Oh my God. What are you doing?
That was a statement win and a beatdown by Jaime Munguia forces John Martin's corner to throw.
Ninth round.
Stop this fight. That's how you turn head in the super middleweight division. It was the all-action flag.
Yeah. Told you it didn't make sense. Ryder winning. Munguia did what Canelo couldn't do. I'm just surprised the corner jumped in so quick to stop the fight. I mean, Munguia. Yeah. Hey, Freddie.
He jumped on the rope and he won the fight, but we know Ryder took his collar. And the crazy end of there with the corner trying to wake the fight off. Munguia's corner trying to wake the fight off. And then Munguia throwing 4 punches after the bell.
I tell you what, in that sequence, of right away did one good heavy punch, and I saw him straight in the corner, kind of put the towel back in his pocket. But it was too late, Sergio.
But that's what it is. That is a real step up on Munguia. I think he was the most thoughtful I've ever seen him. In those early rounds, where he'd have a lot of success, he was busy, but not over busy. He was looking for the target.
Money fight for Canelo.
And the finish there was good this year.
Look, we know that Jaime is a volume, aggressive, Mexican style puncher. But now we see a little bit more patience and he wanted more accuracy. He didn't just throw caution away. He wasn't just throwing punches and bunches. He was trying to set him up with
What was the shot that he landed that hurt him? Yeah. Look at that. It wasn't even on the temple. It was just on the fucking forehead.
Beautiful shot. Beautiful shot. He's still not ignoring the left hand to the body. Jaime Munguia.
This is where they're trying to stop it. Oscar De La Hoya's waving his arms.
Everyone's waving their arms. Everyone's seeing it except the referee.
But if this is John Ryder's last fight, which he alluded to, he went out the way he came in, like a warrior.
Went out on the shield.
No, he literally went out swinging. I mean, literally, you see it.
I think his team jumped in too quick to stop the fight there. Truthfully. I mean, hey, Con, let me tell you, I've been knocked out many times. No big deal. No big deal. We could throw you in with fucking Callum Smith at 175. Anthony Yard, Boazzi. We do a little in-house UK tournament. But great win for Munguia. You know, the reality is certain segments of YouTube are going to dismiss, downplay, and discredit Munguia because he's not a Black American fighter. Even though currently at 168 pounds, there is no Black American fighter worth talking about. Sorry, that's just the reality. So we know you guys are going to tie yourself to Morel because Morel is the closest thing that you can relate to, a Cuban Black fighter. But the reality of the situation is Munguia did what he had to do. People downplayed this fight, but yet this is the same guy that people felt beat Callum Smith, the same guy that beat Danny Jacobs, the same guy that gave Canelo Alvarez a good fight. And Munguia did what nobody could do since he got beat by his domestic rival in the UK at 160 pounds. Stop him. I do agree that I think the fight shouldn't have been stopped by the corner. They should have let him at least try to fight through it, but, you know, it is what it is. Munguia. Viva Mexico.
Munguia are class act, always a smile on his face, always kind to everybody, except for his opponents in the ring.
He's respectful, and the more popular he's been getting, the more attention. Same guy, same humble. I mean, the humility is amazing, but yeah, he's a monster once he gets inside the ropes.
Hey, what do you think of Jaime Munguia now with Freddie Roach in his corner, Barry?
Yeah, I think it's a perfect fit because you've got to go here. I think with Freddie Roach, he should have added more angles to his offensive game. He's got to build that punches.
Laugh out loud, almost like it was set up for Munguia to win, huh? Well, of course it was a fight where they expected him to win, right? But he still had to do it. He still had to get in there and do it. And he had to do it in this kind of fashion. If he would have won a fight like he did against Derevchenko, a difficult fight, people would discredit him.
And there are statements, and that felt like a statement to us sitting ringside. How did it feel to you?
La verdad que sí, me siento muy contento porque me preparé para esto. Trabajé fuerte. Sé que no mucha
I'm very happy. I got ready for this. I know that I worked really, really hard for this.
Sé que mucha gente no confió en mí, por eso me preparé fuerte. Y aquí están los resultados. Muchas gracias a todos. Y aquí estamos en los 168 listos.
I know a lot of people didn't believe in me, but this is the result of hard work. We're ready for 168.
Is that Canelo's son in the background?
Controlled fight this time than you did last time. Did we see that tonight?
Sí, así es. Quería hacer una pelea más controlada. La vez pasada salí solo a rifarme, a tirar golpes. Pero la verdad me di cuenta que tengo que manejar más mis tiempos arriba del ring. Y la
Hi,
creo
what
que
are you doing?
Ryder,
Why are you so cool again?
aprendí mucho y vamos a seguir avanzando.
You are correct. Last time I was just throwing punches like crazy, but this time my timing was better. My timing was perfect. Ryder was a great fighter, but we're ready to keep on going.
You're watching some of the knockdowns here. What were you seeing when you were fighting him?
Pues la verdad es un peleador bastante fuerte, tenía que tener bastante cuidado, tiene una pegada respetable, por eso tenía bastante cuidado, tiene la cabeza bien dura, me la mano. Pero la verdad, me siento muy feliz de haber obtenido esta victoria por la vía del knockout. Estaba dedicada para toda mi gente, para México.
Maybe Munguia is the face of American boxing now.
Because I punched him so much in the head, but I'm ready. This fight was for my people of all of Mexico.
You had fought at 168 before, but now that you are a full-fledged super middleweight, how did you feel in the ring?
No, la verdad me siento muy bien, me siento motivado, voy a seguir trabajando para la siguiente pelea, ser mejor que esta y cada vez voy a ser mejor.
I feel great. I'm motivated for the next fight. It's going to be better than this one, and every time I'm going to get better every time.
All right, so the next fight is going to be bigger than this one. What do you want the next fight to be?
Pues no lo sé aún, no hay nada sobre la mesa, pero queremos lo mejor en las 168 libras. Vamos a ser campeones del mundo.
We don't know yet. There's nothing on the table yet, but we want the best of 168. We are going to be world champions.
Well, the best of the best at 168 also has all the belts at 168. Do you feel you earned a shot at Canelo Alvarez tonight?
Pues, la verdad, sería una gran pelea entre mexicanos y si nos da la oportunidad, Canelo, sería un honor compartir el ring con él.
It will be a great fight among Mexicans, and if Canelo gives us the chance, it will be an honor to be in the same ring as him.
Congratulations, Jaime.
Muchas gracias. Y esta pelea en especial se la dedico a una persona que está aquí abajo, que acaba de nacer hace 3 meses, mi hijo Jaime Munguia. Gracias.
I want to dedicate this fight to a very special person. 3 months ago, my son was born. Jaime Munguia, this one was for you.
Jaime Munguia Jr.
So what a win for Jaime. Now, Barry, the question is, if he does get Canelo, can he?
I don't think Canelo is next because I truthfully believe the PBC is not going to put Canelo in with a Golden Boy DAZN fighter, not in a 3-fight deal that they have with Canelo Alvarez. So I definitely think Charlo is next. Whether we like it or not, it is what it is. if he gets David Benavidez, as I expect for the third fight, at the end of the day, people cannot be that disappointed. Charlo, Benavidez. 3-fight deal on PBC. What else do you need? Like, you can be critical that Charlo's weren't at their best or not at their perfect weight class, but the point was they get career high paydays. They're being treated well by their promoter. They're getting more money than they would get in any other fight. For Canelo, he's getting 2 stay busy test fights where he gets paid big money, all leading for inevitably the biggest fight at 168 pounds. Benavidez, Canelo, undisputed. And I think probably the next fight, depending on how Berlanga looks in his fight coming up in February, is Munguia versus Berlanga, right? Munguia versus Berlanga on the zone. That fight is huge. And based on this performance, the crowd, the attention he's going to get after this fight, very well you could do that fight potentially pay-per-view, right? Which would be a big statement, obviously. It's telling you truthfully that probably he's the second biggest name and draw at 168 pounds. Because already I think he's a bigger draw than Benavidez, if we want to be honest. I think Mexican boxing fans support Jaime Munguia more than they support David Benavidez. I could be wrong. I'm just saying. Munguia versus Plant next. Well, that's not going to happen because obviously Plant is part of the PBC. So, you know, I don't see that happening. Munguia is not going to go over to the PBC, and Plant is not going to cross over to DAZN. How big is Inui in Taiwan? Taiwan doesn't really watch boxing, even though we do have a very good amateur fighter. But yeah, boxing sports as a whole isn't that big. You know, if Taiwan gets like a world champion level fighter, then the attention will be better, right? Whenever they have like a athlete that does well, then they get attention, right? Like obviously baseball has been the predominant sport in Taiwan, but now it's becoming badminton because we have a few gold medal winning badminton players. So it's getting far more attention because of that. Taekwondo was very big because we had a few girl and a couple and a boy who were medalists in the Olympics for Taekwondo. In boxing right now, if we have like a gold medal winning amateur, then boxing will get more attention in Taiwan. Apparently, Manny Pacquiao was just recently in Taiwan doing some sort of thing to help build boxing in Taiwan. And that is definitely a good sign, obviously, because of that. And Taiwan does love Japan. That's true, but not necessarily when it comes to sports. If Canelo doesn't fight Benavidez this year, it's a duck. I agree. If Canelo Alvarez doesn't fight Benavidez as part of his 3-fight deal with the PBC, it's a blatant duck. And I agree 100. You'll never hear me say anything contradictory to that. When he signed a 3-fight deal with the PBC, any rational person had to understand that it was all a matter of leading towards a David Benavidez fight. He's not a punching bag, Alan. Like, stop. See, first thing you do is you come here and now you're trying to downplay and disregard Munguia's performance. So was Regis Prograis a punching bag for fucking Devin Haney? Is it fair to say Munguia is more proven at 168 than Morrell? One fight against a good fighter like John Ryder, as opposed to 10 fights against, you know, not bad opposition for Morrell. I would say Munguia is a bigger draw, a bigger name, but Morrell's probably still a little more proven. Ryder has never been a good offensive fighter. Oh my God. The fucking cap that people fucking pop out with. What are you talking about, man? Like John Ryder, when he let his hands go today, he was very effective. Very effective. I don't think Morrell is as good as what people claim he is. Well, I think Morrell is the best fighter at 168. Alan, you got to give Munguia his props. But some people just don't want to give props. They just want to find reasons to disregard and criticize. And you're going to see all over YouTube tomorrow this, right? They were trying to downplay this fight to begin with. And now you're going to discredit Munguia, even though he did better than Canelo Alvarez did against John Ryder. Like, that's the statement. It's not that he beat John Ryder. It's that he stopped John Ryder in the 9th fucking round, like I predicted. Neji Lopez is the best young up-and-comer in and around those weights. Well, let's see what Neji Lopez does when he fights legitimate competition, because so far he's fighting a bag of bones, right? He hasn't fought anyone that's even credible or you know, anybody that fucking people have even heard of. The reality is at 168 pounds, there's quite a few good young fighters. And there's a lot of guys right now who I think would fucking beat Neji fucking Lopez's ass. But he does look good. Yeah, I'm pretty sold on Munguia, actually. Ryder is a guy that bragged about not getting knocked out by Canelo. Yeah, exactly. John Ryder has only been stopped once. Callum Smith didn't stop him. Big, hard puncher. Danny Jacobs didn't stop him. The UK dude, what's his face, didn't stop him. Canelo didn't stop him. Munguia did. That's a huge statement. That's the statement that fucking Golden Boy and DAZN wanted.
Pretty Roach just going past us as well. He's definitely added time in here. Sergio, Barry, any other of these guys? What do you make of that performance, Sergio?
You couldn't bring a better script. If you're Golden Boy, if you're Jaime Munguia, I mean, that's exactly what he needed to do to get the attention. And not only Canelo, but the rest of the super middleweight division. To knock out, to gotta actually be the first one to really stop John Ryder. Because the first time he got stopped, it was on his feet in the fight that he was winning. This time, it was everyone wanted the fight stopped. Everyone was waving the towels, and he did it in impressive fashion. All eyes on Jaime Munguia tonight.
Certainly was. I mean, you can't get more impressive than putting John Ryder down 4 times, outlanding him as well. We knew he was always going to throw more punches than John. That's what Jaime Munguia did. But you said something very good on comms, Barry. So patient with it. Didn't rush it. When he needed to, he did. But ultimately, taking his time with those shots.
So me and Sergio were looking at each other going, hang on, this is like, he's thinking about his work. He's not just walking forward, taking the shot, and then just unloading with heavy punches. He was thoughtful. And I think that's an evolving factor right there. Without losing any of the magic. You talk about it all the time.
No, I think it was a great performance from Jaime Munguia today. It's perfectly scripted. It could not have worked out better, right? And Ryder, the punching bag that he is, came back and won round 6, 7, and potentially even round 8. So after being dropped multiple times, obviously being down after 4 rounds, to come back in round 6, 7, and 8 and win those rounds, only to then get stopped in the 9th round, that shows you what a competitive fight it was and how competitive Ryder was. Ryder was no slouch. He came back, and after being dropped and virtually looking as if he was out of the fight, came back and won multiple rounds back to back, right? And was landing a lot of crisp, hard shots like that one, the corkscrew jab that he was landing in others, only for Munguia to come back in the 9th round, land that big shot in his head, and he just went, and then to finish him just like you hope that he would, right? I think it's disappointing that his corner jumped in to stop the fight, because I think John Ryder could have actually lasted that round, or Jaime Munguia would have had to literally fucking put him out on his back. For Freddie Roach, congratulations. You got another boy in your stable that is right now on top of the game. That's great. Great for Roach. Obviously keeps him relevant, keeps him motivated. He needs it. So I'm happy to see it, because it's going to be a sad day when Roach is no longer around. Oh, look, there you go. With his kid, Jaime Munguia Jr. And it's true. Jaime Munguia seems like a really nice guy, right? Down to earth, a good kid, right? So I have no problem wishing him great success. And I hope Berlanga, Mexico, Puerto Rico is next, because that fight would be great. Right now it's January. Berlanga's fighting in February, so March, April, May, or June. Say June. When is Puerto Rico Day in America? When is Puerto Rico Day in America? Second Sunday in June. There you go. New York City. Jaime Munguia, Berlanga, the second week of June. Fucking Puerto Rico parade, New York City. This fight, that's the shit to do, man. DAZN, New York City, Berlanga, Jaime Munguia. You heard it here first. That's the fight that's going to happen June, second week, because that shit is dynamite, fire. Berlanga, even though he's come under a lot of scrutiny and criticism, he's dangerous. He's building up his name. Munguia is building up his name. Both of them have talked about getting a Canelo Alvarez fight, right? And obviously the winner of that really deserves the fight. And think about Canelo Alvarez. You finish your, there's the rankings right there. Right now they have, this is Chris Mannix super middleweight ranking. So this is obviously Mannix. Canelo Alvarez, champion, Benavidez, Christian Mbilla, right? That'd be a fucking war. Morrell, I don't know how he's got Christian Mbilla ranked above David Morrell. Like, truthfully, I don't understand it. Mbilla is an aggressive, come forward fighter, but he's definitely fucking got some holes. Caleb Plant, Diego Pacheco, Eric Bazinian. How does he have Eric Bazinian ranked above Munguia, Berlanga, and Ryder, right? We just saw a guy on the undercard today who fought a guy that Bazinian went the distance with and scraped by with a majority decision, right? Jaime Munguia, Berlanga, and Ryder. Let me take a pic of that. I'm going to make a video later on as my post-fight video comes in. Obviously, people, stay tuned to check that out. And this will be one of the things we're talking about. What's going on next at the 168-pound division. There we go. Okay, how does Andrade fare against Munguia? Right now, it looks like Munguia would knock his ass out. But Andrade went back down to 160 pounds, pussying out. So obviously, we're never going to find that out. Munguia did his thing. Yes, he did. So rebel. But everyone, thanks for jumping in. We've been on for 3 hours. Remember, like, subscribe, please. Thank you very much. And share the video. Get my name back out there so my 7,000 subscribers can see that I'm still around, and feel free enough for them to subscribe to my channel. Once again, I would love to get back to that 1,000 subscription mark as quick as possible. So thank you very much. Have a good one. Stay tuned for my video later on today, my post-fight video. And until then, peace out. I need to paint my kitchen. It's got some serious wall cancer, and trying to get things done in Taiwan is very difficult. Very difficult. But I will see you guys later. Andre is not a real fighter. Well, Alan, you're being a little hard on him, right? You know, he's overrated. That's all. But thanks everyone for jumping in. I will see you next time. Peace out. Remember to subscribe to Sean Unboxing, the best boxing news. Peace out. Enjoy your night. Enjoy what's left of your weekend. And I'll see you soon. Ciao.